I need to watch out for this people holding his angle. Oh my word!
Still forced to swing and does do so with the updraft. Reed not expecting the second one there. Lewis still with the blade storm is going crazy.
He's going to drop down the operator and pick up the vandal. Last round and care. He's not able to get anyone as the counter clash is there. But the deadlock tries to steal his teammate away, but he's going to be surviving immediately. With the team playing hard, he's just going to deal some damage, but he's going to be easily taken out. And OOT just way too aggressive. Ay.
Oh, I see the vision.
Also, Joe, real quick, could you please bring back your screen because I need.
Yo. Now I can't hear Night Terror.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around. Just playing around, guys. I'm just playing around.
You got it. I was like, no way. I was like, no way.
Welcome back,
boned.
everyone. Welcome back, everyone.
Boned. I was like,
Oh
oh Lord,
my
oh
God.
Lord. I was like, oh
Welcome
God.
back, everyone. We are
We're doing
hopefully
a test.
fixing audio
We're
issues.
test.
Yes,
Hopefully,
we are going.
we
into
have
the
been
game.
heard. Our voices.
Yes,
heard. It's
hopefully
too
we
early
are
in the
been
morning.
heard.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
It has been quite a day here. Just to give you guys a brief summary of what's happened here, other than the audio issues. Actually, the previous game we just had ended up in a 2-0 situation with Surely Tragic versus Veneer. Team Veneer actually went out 2-0 onto that game, but it was very close coming in from Surely Tragic. And now hopefully we will see a little bit of rivalry come out here with these teams that are going to be playing against each other. Twisted Saint Esports versus Team Prolific.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, do we talk about the teams? Do we wait
we
for
talk about
the
the teams?
audio clear? Like, I mean,
Look,
should we bring
you
up the
wanna do
fantasy league
speed
for the
run?
third time in a row?
I got this, right? We're gonna speed run. Time me, nerds,
Go
time
for
me.
it, go for it. Yeah, ready?
Alright, I'm gonna open.
All right, go for
Welcome
it.
everyone to Team Prolific and Team Twisted Saint Esports here. We are going to finally see their games come out. The last time these two faced each other was actually in the Reyna's tournament series instead of Overdrive is from the Shadows here. And this is going to be quite an interesting match as they have a rivalry coming into it where Twisted Saint Esports won 2-1 against Team Prolific in the lower brackets, kicking them out from the Shadows rather. Twisted Saint Esports actually and of course, Team Prolific are both partner teams for each other, and they gotta make something work from this because now that they're coming back into this tournament series, a little bit of friendly rivalry is gonna be ensuing right now. Twisted Saint Esports, of course, is an org that's going like crazy against a strong rivalry against Team Prolific, which makes sense because they're always insane and crazy in this game here, and of course they've taken out quite a few rosters here coming in from there.
Chat,
Zach coming in here, and their IGL that recently just retired, Jip, is going to be out of the roster, and they're going to be picking up Ben Steele as their new IGL and Zara's initiator, with the key players being Fix and Yuki. Now we have Team Prolific coming in here, and oh, we're ready? I think we're ready. Let me finish this. This is my moment. Okay, and Team Prolific now coming in here with 30 seconds. We're going for a brand new roster here. TPR coming in, IGL coming in, Ray coming from previous Ray Esports roster, and of course with the new key players Hayden and Reyna and Anu coming in here. This is gonna be a packed action here, and we're gonna see how this is done. Okay, that was a minute 10.
No, it's cooked. It's cooked. I was like over under 60. Over under 60. You can we're talking about fantasy stuff.
Oh, do we want to do that?
Terror, breathe, Night Terror, breathe.
We've got this.
Okay, we're gonna be heading into Lotus. The teams are ready. The casters are ready. The desk is ready. You guys in the audience are more than ready. We're just gonna head straight into it. Map pick, ban. Map pick, ban. Ooh, we're gonna go with agent select. We have to skip over that actually.
Unfortunate. But I'm just gonna let you guys know the agent select as we go through it. I mean, we can see it, so we know exactly what's going in. Twisted Saint Esports are always locked in for the most part. Yeah, they already have their locks in already. We can see that. But on the other side, we are going to talk about a special pick here coming in, Neon from Team Prolific. Now, something that we've not seen a lot.
I mean, I like Neon on this map, specifically not only because Mini Boo, we've seen some crazy stuff come out there, but also just because Neon is I think I love Neon. Like, I'm a personal fan of Neon. They're about to buff them. They're about to do a really good job with her. So I think it'll be cool.
Right. So in that case here, we are gonna see maybe a Reyna and of course one of my favorite picks here, Gecko plus a Fate combo. And if that's gonna happen, then I think we've got a lot of things set up for Team Prolific to really go hard. But Clove as a new initiating pick here. With that smokes raining from the sky, as well as her new ultimate that's really crazy. Not dead yet. They might just have second win coming in hard, heavy, strong against the side on TSE.
I mean, generally speaking, I I think that having some of these new comps, cooking them up is understandable. But having more consistent and like tried and true comps makes sense for certain teams. I also
Right.
know that Team Prolific, they're kind of playing with some new players. They're kind of working with some new players, meaning that because of that, I think they're gonna have some sort of different vibe to them. They're kind of, I don't know if they're pugging it out necessarily, or if they're really going to test specific comps. Like, okay, we're gonna test out specifically how to use Neon with double initiator, right? Can we exec on a site? Can we execute? Can we do a good job? And so on and
Right.
so forth, you know?
Right. And now as we go into the games though, I mean, pretty simple pistol round. You get this round for yourself. You're basically set up for the next 1/2 rounds. And we'll have to see how it goes from there. But very importantly, especially on Lotus here, your picks matter because this map is so big. Obviously, there are easy rotations if you go through B, but otherwise it's gonna hurt you a lot to be too spread out. So yeah, I mean, Nerds,
Mm-hmm.
what are you thinking about how they can really play this one out here? You know, what is the long game plan here coming in from like either side?
I mean, Neon's gonna be fast for executes and retakes. Realistically, that's what I'm keeping an eye on. We have double duelist and double init for the side of attack here. It's Twisted Saint Esports. We had to check that out really quickly, but
Yeah, yeah.
realistically, right? I think this should favor the team that can really exec the best. And because we have on attack double duelist, double inish. If they can execute on the site fast and consistent, then that's what's gonna matter.
All right, and now we're gonna see how they do this because as they're
The
waiting
gun,
here, it is
no
just
guns.
looking a little bit dangerous. Right now, in the corner here, you can definitely see they want to try and go something for a C push. Right, Seema's being taken down by Breach, and they're gonna be waiting with Jet here to see for opportunity as Bean Seller comes in here, and we do see a jump there, which means now they have information for one.
Also holding down towards mid, trying to ensure some space. And before they rotate here, it's just gonna dash in on the side to try and take as much space as they can.
A new for one here. We're going really strong now with 4 players to their name only. That's a little bit hard for them. TSE hoping to start initiating the spike here, and there it is. We have the plant come down, and this is going to be post-plant situation moving forward here. Hide and seeking for one here, trying to pick it up, but unfortunately goes down to Yuki's Sheriff here. Push down, Yuki's able to back away, and he has nicked him a little bit more than he could have actually hoped for. Now waiting for opportunity here. Raid setting up for success is going to have to push it all on his own with a lone Omen here. I'm not too sure if that's going to work out for them. From behind here, didn't check your corners, kept from the wrong corner, and there it is. Yuki coming in from the back. Raid is amazing with that 2 shots there, and that is going to make them into a 1-2 situation. There's absolutely no way you can counter that, and there it is. First game here, sorry, first round in this game going to Twisted Space Esports.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Saints Esports winning out there, and generally speaking, right, in a pretty dominant fashion. They're going to be buying up. We'll see what they buy up, because some teams like to buy up fully, some teams like to buy up partially, so they can pick up rifles. There we go. It seems like 3 rifles and an outlaw, so Bean Seller could most likely pick up one of the rifles. If a player goes down, they're playing with that kind of insurance. Some teams will go for like full rifles just to like really dominate and try and get a flawless victory, but that is generally a more risky strategy. I appreciate that they're not going to be going for it, especially early on in this best of 3. They're not going to be taking any unnecessary risk.
Right, and so as we turn this around here, we have information being scouted out here by the scout as well. And so we're not seeing anything here, but a good chunk of them are reading onto site A right now. I'm not too sure if it's gonna really help them out. This is gonna be an interesting situation for them because not too sure if that's gonna be enough for them. They have B smoked out here, and they're all kind of just centered towards Mount, but they're not gonna really commit. I mean, Spike's at the back here, so what's the game
They're
plan here?
waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting, right? But is it
So
really right
they're
to
waiting
wait?
to try and trying to get space and control before they hit onto something specifically, because if they go into a trap and a strong side weak side, they lose all their weapons super early on. I mean, look, TEC Cookie is just waiting here. See if they can push in onto the site, try to make some space for the team before they take the fight. But again, right, it's about taking the optimal fights.
Ooh, and now as we see that this optimal fight that you might be looking forward to is going to be here because they've got a spike planted for a post-plant situation and everyone's just kind of like circling around to be here. This
Oh, I
pincer
see what
formation
they're
is really
doing.
good.
Prolific's gonna die to the bomb. They're gonna try and get a pick or two, and then they're gonna go and die to the bomb.
They just kind of want that econ increase, right? I mean, that might be the play here. I agree here. But as we turn around, Cookie does pick out 2 for the side here with Fix on another 2. Of course, Mikul is now
Good.
going in
I
for
mean,
2 on the
honestly-
Cookie and Beat Seller. And final last one, Mikul going in. So,
Mm.
well, they've kind of got it down for themselves. And as we see that, if you guys are wondering why we don't have guns and we only see our heads here, because this is actually a very interesting Valorant mode. It's called fisticuffs. So we're going to see if we can get that up
just
fixed here. 'Cause,
fighting it off, duking it like
yeah.
the Duke's out here, ready, to go.
Yeah, you know,
I mean,
every hand wave is like a air blast, you know, like whoosh.
mhm.
You know, so we're gonna see
Yeah.
how we can fix that real quick here. But don't worry about Prod, you know, just giving us a interesting show to watch. I mean, Valorant, very interesting game. A lot of different game modes you can see.
Moving into it, we still don't have it set up, but we do have something set up here. Prolific running it down with the 2, and they already find the picks that they need to have here. It is their buy round, so they have better weaponry, but still, getting 2 super early on in this game is going to stunt Twisted Saints Esports potential. Unfortunately, Bean Seller ain't going to sell this time. They're actually going to thrive.
Oh, and Tribe they do. Right now, they got Seaside all to themselves here. Twisted Saints going in very strong here, and they're postured to just lock them off here. Now, of course, their bird is going to come out, and we do see them hit the cloak, which is true in the site. Side C backdoor here. We're gonna see if we can turn this around here. Bean Seller trying to go in for one, but it's a little bit overwhelmed here. Not too sure why you pushed up that much here, and now you've left your team with 1 lone breach to make this work. This is Esports is at 2 points up right now, but I'm not too sure if we're really happy with this 1v3 situation. But it is a breach, and there are a lot of walls. We might see something work here with no utility though. It's not gonna help them too much.
Yeah, they just
there we go. Pick
swarm
one
and
corner of the
surround.
wall.
They swarm and surround, right? They're just gonna grab it, take everyone up, take them down pretty quickly, and they had better weapons. They got super early picks, especially pushing into Seaside. So once they got those early picks, it was just a matter of like, all right, well, how are you going to play this? Right? How are you going to continue when you have not worse off weaponry, but less weaponry, and you also on top of that don't have the players you need to execute?
Yeah, I totally agree. But as we move on to the next round here, well, they finally put themselves back on the board, and now we're able to see something work out from here. And because the main thing I need to understand here is how they can maximize this lead now, right? They're starting their game of 1-2. They have got 1 point on the board leading towards them, and they might be able to make this into a streak with a Thrasher. So that might be how they want to try to initiate this, but going for a forceful 5 into B could also be another strategy. They need the information first though. Scout does see
Beanseller's
for
gonna
1.
spot him
This
out.
might be it.
They know where breach is now, and they know, okay, Gecko has been playing towards
Right.
C. We know that KJ has been rotating C and A, so they're most likely on one of those main sites. And if you catch breach out towards A, that kind of gives them some confidence to go towards that, because they know, okay, most likely they've stacked more players onto C, and they've left KJ here. If they can spot out the KJ util, I feel like they'll know. If they break it, they'll exec. Yeah, they're pushing in through tree. So this will be very easy for the side of, I believe it's gonna be Twisted Saints on attack.
Yeah, Twisted Saints got this one in the back here. They're holding it down to side A, and they've even started planting it, which means this is all theirs for the taking. They might be able to turn this around, but this is anything to go off of. Twisted Saints has been carrying goal against Prolific, who has been so strong on the defense right now, coming back from it. And with, of course, the short fuse coming in here, the Thrasher comes out. Nicely done. They might be able to turn this around. Ray coming back in higher, taking 1 per side, trading back Yuki here. Be cool for Cookie, and of course, beats out because and another one onto Rain, which means they've got the situation of 1v3 again, and it's just not looking too good for them.
I mean, looks pretty good. Oh,
Looking for that here. I mean, look at the economy right now. It's not in shambles entirely yet, but any buy they make right here is going to dent them even more. They're not going to be able to pick up the best of the best right now when their score is 3-1. And so, Prolific here needs to really make something work out of this, as we have Twisted Saints Esports just completely stop gapping them right now. And look at that, all sheriffs here with maybe a Bucky at best. That's not going to be good.
it's a fractured buy, but it can work out for them, especially in this,
Who
like,
knows?
especially deeper into the game. I think Rain being super consistent sitting in C is going to be, I would say, more of a hindrance than a benefit for the side of defense here, especially because for the defensive
Ooh,
side, right? They
Dizzy.
know where they're most likely going to be playing, right? Like Yuki just eats that. Sure, the information was gained, but they still have players coming in to the side of A. They're defaulting. They're okay if they get info.
That is true. That is true. They want to give maybe even fake info. Dissuade them from doing anything in particular, or maybe, you know, give them false information. Always good. Splash over here, the paranoid comes out. He's not gonna make anything here. Hiding, trying to go for a little zip zap here, but it's not gonna find its mark because everyone's just hiding, waiting for information, trying to fake something here through the wall, or maybe rotate. There we go. Pushes through B here, and we are not gonna see anything. Everyone's rotating around to A here. Nerds, what is happening?
I mean, they had players towards A. I called it earlier, right? They had a player towards A. They were defaulting. Their goal was just to try and get some information before they execute. And now look at where Cookie is going to be positioned. They have such a forward position on this A site, so they have all angles covered, including flank and breakable. They can pinch towards breakable, and they can hold a good stairs position. And considering that TPR has no way of breaking through unless they get some really nice headshots, which unfortunately, like we even see KJ not finding, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a blender here, and it makes a lot of sense. Ooh, great pick with the
Nicely
Bucky.
done.
That was a good pick, but honestly, it goes in favor of TSE because they
had better
can
weaponry.
hold a good
Like,
stairs
they had better
position. Better position.
Right, and of course, with that being said, though, we're able to see quite the amazing view of this entire thing. But I think they have to actually call in this timeout. And well, nicely said. I mean, 3 games up here. One thing I always talk about when it comes to these kind of things, and when you call a timeout, uh, very big shout outs to one of my other casters, watching Abyss. He's always told me like, hey, after 6 rounds is where players start to really feel the other team out. And so, you know, we're not too far off that. But as you look at the ultimate economy for the side of Twisted Saints Esports, 3-1, I think this is a good time to call a timeout and see if they can bait out any ultimates. This is a very good chance.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, it is a good time to call a timeout because they're calling it earlier. They just had their eco played out, and they're most likely going to be buying into this round. They have some ultimates to work with, and because of that, they know, okay, if we have some ultimates to work with, we know how we're going to be kind of playing off of this. Specifically, that rolling thunder. Prolific Esports has been doing a pretty okay job of holding and kind of gaining information, but their retakes have been pretty lackluster. I'm assuming that's what they're going to be discussing right now. How are we going to retake with this Breach ultimate? Where is Breach going to be playing? I feel like Breach is going to be playing towards mid. He's positioned in mid, so that would make a lot of sense. It seems like a strong side, weak side gamble, and I like that, especially because you have KJ to get information for C and B, and you can retake with that Breach ultimate, or you can absolutely punish an A execute here if anything comes through.
I get what you mean here. As we got to turn this around, you're going to start slowly sniffing them out. Of course, from the back end here, we are going to see them push back forward, and this is going to be it. Maybe, again, like you're saying, defaulting, they want to wait it out.
Yeah, I mean, flawless victory, 4 found actually. Sorry for TPR's KJ, and we talked about sort of their strategy, keeping Breach in mid and then kind of playing off of that. But when you have a solo player just popping off like the KJ did, then you know that would make a lot of sense. I honestly don't know how to pronounce their name, so I feel I don't want to mispronounce it. It seems like a very funny, gimmicky name.
All right, I mean, you know what? That's true. That's true. You know, caster things, you just kind of say something sometimes and you just go like, well, I said it. I said it. It is what it is. But as we're going to see how this turns out again, we are going to see a very hard leading TSE onto the A side here. Maybe they want to really try and make this work once again. But look at that wall. 2 on the side, Neon and Killjoy. We have Beancell trying to scout for information here. Does not see anyone in B. And so they have information now. A little bit more to work at. Maybe they want to try and go through B instead and see if they can clear out to either side.
Oh, this is going to give them info. Yuki has to fall back. That's where the rolling thunder comes in to really punish these players. But look at how fast the change of pace comes through. They're going to fall back almost immediately. The fight breaks out towards A. There's that rolling thunder. It's going to get countered, though. It doesn't get spotted. No.
After shot locking them
still
up,
alive.
They have the punt. This is great. Post-punt situation. 4 players to 3 here. Twisted Saints Esports needs to put themselves back on the board a little bit, control the pace of the game as they have been with that 3-point lead now, and they're just gonna keep waiting for it. Now they have information where the breach is as well. We're gonna wait for an opportunity here. As a Nook comes in from the back, Fix gonna see him for a little bit of a surprise taste test right now. A Nook, there we go, there we go. As we see in front of the corner here,
Nice taste
Buddy
test
is
on
out
Cookie.
here, and we're gonna take out Fix. A little bit of distraction coming in there, and Fix again going strong for 2 kills. Can we see a third one coming around the corner? It's gonna be what we're gonna see. Rain waiting for opportunity here. 2 players coming in now. They're gonna see one to the breach, takes it down, but again, Fix for the third one. Like I've been saying, insane control right there.
I mean, realistically, right? Twisted Saints being able to pick that up, especially with the Bree ult and with the breach ult, the breach ult. It was one of the situations that you really don't want to have, where you invest in ultimate and you cannot convert from it. Especially because they crunched into mid. They managed to pick up a couple of players, but they didn't continue with that. Like, they didn't push in even more for the side of Prolific Esports. That's not to say that they did a bad job. It just was a really rough time for them because Twisted Saints had the read. Ooh, I don't know if... No, they probably intended not to. I thought they were going to go up top Rubble. I was like, oh, it might have whiffed that. But
Maybe,
the exec
maybe.
towards C is going to come out. And how do you say that name? Anu?
A new 2K, you know, a new 2K.
A new 2K. We're gonna go with the new 2K, having to tuck away.
Oh, but for the corner here, they do
and
pick up
finding the
one
spray.
and another one. Is this a 2K that we're seeing here? A low 2K? It's not gonna be a nut 2K if he doesn't get this one though. As we do see from around corner, Kuza coming in here, hiding, picking up one for the Cookie here. Yuki waiting around the corner, trying to see there. Dude, there it is for the corner. Does he pick it up? A new 2K? No, Mikul picks it up for himself, and Zars takes out Mikul. And there it is, a new, not for 2K, but gets 2K knocked out himself. Ray returning the fair to Zyrox here, and now the teams are all down. And this means that we finally have another point back into the favor of Prolific.
Ooh, they managed to have a more solid retake. No ultimates invested, just the read. I mean, honestly, just having a new kind of come out in that situation really worked for them. I think, generally speaking, because Anu was in that position, tucking away and finding and spraying down one player and then pushing away the players towards Waterfall, we couldn't see Twisted Saints Esports do what they normally do, which is get onto a site and spread out. They'll get onto the site, they'll spread out, they'll take really deep control, and then slowly fall back, taking down players as they're retreating back onto the site. Because they get deep control, they have control, for example, of Heaven, they have control of Stairs, they'll take a pick off, and then instead of getting swung again and traded, they'll fall back. It works out for them. Oh my gosh. A new 2K has been honestly one of the most high value players for the side of Prolific Esports, finding not only the 4K earlier, but then also really stopping the onslaught of Twisted Saints.
I mean, let's not forget Fix as well, giving out that 3K, but of course with a little bit of assistance. But no team works without a little bit of assistance, right? That's what a team is for. But enough talk about these teams. I don't want to give them too much of a praise here. They've still got a few more games to go before we see our first game going over. So let's see if they can make this one work. The discipline on them to really just wait for an opportunity here. But there we go. The fight ensues here. We do see a little bit of a breach coming into play. Hyda's just waiting around the corner here for an opportunity to come back. But everyone else on the side of Twisted Saints have just kind of rotated back into A, potentially.
I mean, they have some control of A in terms of Sky, but Beansteller is alone out here. They're pushing into the smoke as the rest of the team needs to come together. Hopefully, Prolific is not going to give up early space to these guys. They can actually contest it. They are prepared. They have a player advantage, and they're playing off this Raise Rocket. But again, it's all of these things that, like, come together, and it's a matter of if they don't give up this space early, and they're not. It seems like they're already proactive. The spike has gone down. It's 45 seconds, and they're pushing in all at the start.
Alright, but with that being said though, Dizzy comes out here. We have a little bit of coverage coming behind it, trying to get something work here, and unfortunately for them, there it is. No electric shock for you. Because Cookie from around the corner here is just kind of stuck in a position. Comes around, he sees it, there we go. Kuza was already waiting for the opportunity to happen, and defenders pick this one up, almost equalizing the score, and we're almost into half the round here. We're 9 rounds in, which means there are 4 more left.
And I mean, like I said earlier, they needed to go in early, and that's exactly what did it. And what I mean by early is the spike goes down, you have 45 seconds. You need to go at the start of that 45 seconds. You don't wait and then push in. No. You immediately push in. And I think that's kind of what they read into, and that's what really worked for them, especially because they had the Neon ultimate to kind of disrupt the on-site play. That like micro play for Prolific can really set them apart in this game. Now, hopefully, that'll continue going forward, and it'll also continue in this game, in this round. Oh my God, words.
Yes, words indeed. After the shot comes out here, he's not gonna make anything work right now because hey, no one's there, no information given out. Yuki on the Blaze turns around. Oh my gosh, this is scary. As you can see, he's wrapping around through the defending side spawn, and we do see Yuki now finally on the back here. We might see something work as Cookie comes around. We have a flash coming in onto Breach here, pushing back forward. A lot of kills coming in here, but the Blaze are completely with itself here on a 5-man. Not even nicking anyone. That's insane. How did you make that work?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like they pushed in together, a flawless victory through and through for these guys. Yeah, we get to see the lovely replay.
Oh,
again,
no.
right? Like Cookie, unfortunately, like the flashes were just on point for their retake.
Ready?
Yuki
1, 2,
is
3,
whiffing.
4.
Oh my God, whiffed every single shot there. But at the end of the day,
Come on, producers. Come
like,
on.
it happens. Hey, it happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. The thing that I'm gonna talk about right now is the 3 rounds in a row picked up by Prolific, managing to find 3 diffuses. So the main point of what I'm trying to like advocate for here is that they found how to retake. And that's what it feels like on defense for Lotus. It's either you're executing for the site take or you're executing a retake. There's no counter, like there is some counterplay, but it's like double sentinel counterplay. And even then, it's like double sentinel is not popular in the meta currently.
Right. But we have seen it in the last game that I was on, which means it's not impossible. But now
I mean, I see double sentinel chamber KJ.
Nah, not even chamber KJ. I mean, like the de facto was always gonna be like the strong heavy hitters.
Oh, great ultimate coming out, but the control. Unfortunately, Yuki does go for the punish. Still, Rain finding 1 nonetheless. I mean, again, talk about a punish for the play. It still nets them 3-3, and the ultimate was invested by Twisted Saints to enter on the site, so they're gonna be down in the dumps. Cookie knows the position of one of these players. Knows Rain has to be towards water because they saw the wingman pop out from there.
Right, and from the back here, Kuza's gonna see through the smoke, gets flash charged and breaks through from it. Cookie able to pick himself up 1, here new for 2, and there it is. There it is coming in. We have see a teleport from the back here. Wingman's gonna come out. They're not gonna be distracted by that. Very good. Discipline is key right now because it's 1v2 scenario. You gotta say, Bean Seller really knows how to sell his stocks.
Great position. I mean, great head position too. I don't know if anyone plays Call of Duty, but that's a good head glitch, like a head glitch position. I've been seeing a lot more of them in Valorant, and I love it. Like, I love when players are starting to play around those like really cheeky, really tight angles. We see them on Icebox as well, most commonly. But this is also looking quite interesting. Prolific closing into Twisted Saints, potential 6-6 half here on the board. Again, right? Prolific has just been more or less retaking together. Twisted Saints finally finding the 6 in this round. They have some ultimates as well. It's very contested between the two. I like how they're respecting a new 2K at this point, not dry peeking this angle, instead just stunning it before they go for it.
Well, they have no reason to really force this, and I think they're starting to realize that because hey, Anu's there, just respect it.
Because Anu has been taking them down, man.
Yeah, Anu's been taking it down. They have to respect it. There is absolutely no reason for you to just walk into it. And as you can see, that they are really trying to make this work. But partially, that's because Twisted Saint Esports and of course Team Prolific have fought each other before. You can definitely see that discipline is coming from the fact that they know each other. It's almost like, you know, your own brother. You know what they're gonna do. It's so in sync. Yuki coming in from there right now. We are on the side C trying to make some plays here, but Anu, there we go. Seekers are out, and we are going to see another pick coming in for him. Zara's returning the favor here, and this means that they've got sight to themselves here. If they want to really try something here, Fix is going to come out and try to assist his team, but the rest of Team Prolific has to wrap around through Mount here into C, and this post-spawn situation is looking a little bit more dire.
Especially for Twisted Saints, the only ult they have being a kind of moot, and with the 4 players pushing in, I'm really interested in this 4-player flank coming out from main. They're basically playing like they are on attack here, trying to retake the site. Cookie is going to need to push in and get aggressive if they want to find any of these players, but they get found out instead, and there's that retake. They find only 1 player, I think, in this retake. They're going to peek together, and it's going to be a GG.
Oh my gosh. That is
they have Wingman also diffusing.
Yeah,
I mean, just the retake was really good. I want to see what we see the start of the round here, but just to talk a little bit about that retake, it was a really interesting position for them, and I kind of was like, okay, well, is this retake going to work? It worked really well.
It definitely worked really well. I mean, we're not gonna see the end of that because the round has good. Well, the round preparation is about to finish up here. But if we look at what everything has here, it is actually a new half. So, with everything we said, they do want to try and make it out with this first pistol round of the half. It's always going to lead them such a big advantage here, potentially a 9-6 scenario. So, maybe, just maybe, something can work from there.
Huge maybe.
Huge
Big
maybe,
question
but-
mark.
I mean, they know the players in and out. They can make it work here, right? TSE is now on the defense here with Team Prolific going on the offense. And I mean, these two teams partner with Reyna's before. And one thing about Reyna's is that when you're partnered with them, you're probably a very aggressive team. It's just in your blood. It runs deep.
Oh, Yuki.
Oh!
I thought I heard a sound and I was like, no way, he got a headshot there. Getting caught off guard. Hayden's gonna take advantage of it. I like the Heretics and the Silver Buddy at the same time. The Troll and the gameplay kind of coming out. I like the combination because also they're playing the Mini Boo playing Neon on Lotus. I hope they op. I swear if there's a Mini Boo like Neon op, I am going to be so happy because the counterplay for that is really funny.
Yeah, 100% agree with this, but in the situation that we're in right now, it's not looking too good for the side of Twisted Saints Esports. I mean, yes, one player down, but positions all been found out, they have information, and as a team, they can totally turn this around. Lisa taking one side is fantastic here, but with that trade coming back, again, numbers are not really in their favor. Twisted Saints Esports has to try and make a play right now with 30 seconds on the clock. Nate's on standby here, and we are going to see whether Fix can make a 3K. Jumps it up, they have information for one, tries to pick it up, nothing happens from that. The Classic just cleaning them up. Zyrox from the corner here is trying to find its way around here as Kuza now has the plant down, which means this is it. This is going to be the opportunity they have to try and pincer them. With everyone kind of just spread out towards the mount here, this is a great opportunity for them to try and push in.
I mean, it's just two players on like pistols right now. It's gonna be rough, especially considering they're playing from mound. Sure, they have one player here on site, which they could take down, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Like, what does Zyro do? I feel like you die to the bomb. Oh.
No, you don't die to bomb. You just die to them. That is also another way to make it work.
I mean, it's 4 players left on the site, right? You don't know, right? For the side of Twisted Saints, you're going into a site where you don't know if they're playing on site or off site or where they are with no utility at the beginning of the game. It's just rough, and it's gonna go in the favor of Prolific. They're gonna find it, and then after that, they're gonna buy up weapons. And this is interesting because they're buying up like I said, right? They're buying up full rifles with only one player, a new 2K, not buying up a rifle. Okay, as I say it, they switched to
you're saying.
Anyway, I was saying
absolute
that.
Lie.
They no, they switched right as the timers was like, we'll go for a Spectre. But the whole logic of that is that you can either win flawlessly and keep all of your weapons, or you can, you know, just pick up a Guardian or a rifle or something along those lines. And I think that Prolific being more confident and comfortable in the second half, they're buying up 3 rifles. Cookie spotting out the utility, knows a new 2K, has been defaulting and playing, deciding to set that trip up to kind of bait them out into this push. And they've fallen right into the trap. They're fighting for Cookie right now, and Cookie knows that they're going to be fighting for him, and he did a really good job baiting them here.
Team Prolific needs to have a little bit more discipline here as they are in the lead here. They don't have to force this. Worst case scenario for them, I mean, is they lose everything. Best case scenario, if they were to lose, is that they have all 5 of their players up and still ready to turn around them. Because, hey, what's the point of really losing your guns here? There's no real reason that you have to force this one out. Yuki now sitting onto site C here has a great line of sight, but with a Classic against whatever you're running against, I'm not too sure you want to do that. Hayden running straight in for it is going to make a play here with on the Guardian as well. One tap, one win. That might be it. Try sprays, does not make it work here. Trying to make something work, turns around, and they have information right away. True, that smoke here is going to be Fix waiting an opportunity with that Classic. But again, Classic, how can you possibly turn this around? Is beyond
tops. Wait, he didn't get spotted by the Dizzy, but they knew that there was a player peeking through, so at least at that point they understand. And I feel like they were trying to go for a pinch, but as you can see, because you have 3 players towards halls, but no, at this point it's going to be impossible for them. Like, Twisted Saints has basically no avenue. I would say basically no avenue at this point.
You're saying Cookie coming right from the back here, finally getting his lurk all in that face. of the Killjoy. But as we turn this
That's
around,
going in favor. It's going in favor of Prolific Esports here. It's their buy round. They played it really well. Everyone died to bomb. I mean, they wanted to die so they can have deny alt orbs, and so they can find what is it? Deny alt orbs, and they can also just get money because you get loss bonus if you die, and they're going to be buying up in this round. But Prolific Esports, right? They played that so well, just maintaining a lot of pressure. The one player dying in new 2K to a cheeky lurk was really funny.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what you kind of want to see in this kind of situations, right? You're kind of also breaking like what they could have potentially, and they also did not give away any of their guns, which, mind you, means that Twisted Saint is actually in the back foot here, having to buy up everything.
Buying up as much as they can, pushing in as much as they want. Kaza just waiting. Oh, Yuki can have such impact here if they just peek at the right time. The issue is there's no initiator here, so it's going to be rather rough. They have to get out of dodge. I mean, if Yuki had, if there was just like Breach or Sky there, yeah, if Sky was a little earlier, it could have been so different.
Walk out. From around the corner here, we might see Sky pop out to try and take a fight, but as we go back away, they have to be very careful about this. They have to spike down right now as Yuki wraps this around. It is going to be a very massive fight coming in. They have the smokes in, they have the entire place locked down, tries for it, but Kuza's just ready for it. Lines his sights already. Fix wrapping around here with Beanie Seller. He's going to take a fight here, 2v2 situation, but he takes 1-for-1, and again, Nicole returning the favor. How do you
that's
actually... Yeah, I mean,
Prolific
like,
Esports just won their third round. It's like the Prolific Esports just won the third round, meaning that they've converted their bonus. Yeah, of course you need a timeout here. Because, like, realistically, at this point, if you don't time out, you guys just lost the third round. Like, it has been 4 rounds in a row that have been lost. In the previous game, the previous match as well, the deficit has become 3. And for the side of Twisted Saints Esports, they are on an eco this round, and then they're buying up next round. So I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about their next buy round and kind of figuring out, all right, how are we going to play this buy round? How are we going to navigate this? And once we figure out how we're going to navigate it, try and combat it, because it's most likely double digits here. Like, statistically, it should be double digits. Now, it's not to say that Twisted Saint Esports can't come out with something, because they are. Right. We see hovers, not confirmed, but we see 2 sheriffs being like purchased, but they might sell it. We don't know yet. If I like some teams going for the thrifty play, especially if they talk to their coach and they have some sort of countermeasure against it. It is still early enough that they can go for a thrifty and see if they can start snowballing some rounds without being too detrimental. But I can also see them going for a safer play and trying, because it is also the first game of the best of 3, and they're gonna go for the safer play. Oh no! Oh, I thought the Odin was gonna come out. I was like, oh, we got baited so hard there. I was no way they're Odining.
They would not Odin in this situation. Like, to be very honest, having seen Team Prolific and of course Twisted Saint Esports, I know a situation when I see one. The Odin just does not feel right in this case. They have the lead, and obviously it's just not feeling too good about doing it or trying to make some weird play here. That's the one thing I've understood with them. It is not about taking risk, it's about taking opportunity. And right now, they have everything they need. They don't need this Odin. Of course, we do see them trying to really fight for this mount here, and absolutely, they're not going to give it up. Fix just holding it down here to his comrades here by losing one on the side here on Beanseller, which is going to hurt them a lot. Zyra's going to return the favor onto Mikul, but at this point, they've just opted to just wrap around here. And, well, I guess you know what the situation is. It's going to be a side A punt, and a retake situation is going to happen from here.
Yep. I mean, through it all, right? Prolific Esports does have better weaponry here. They have it. Obviously, Twisted Saints picking up some Phantoms, and I also know they bought some weapons up, so they do have some counterplay to work with. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be really rough for them. Oh, the smoke comes out perfectly. The timing. The smoke that was meant to help Prolific Esports.
It's just beautifully done as Fix takes a 3K right now, turns around, and Anu goes in for that. Nicely done, but it's just beautifully executed. That's all I was saying. Look, I was holding you back. I was like, there's no way it would happen, but it did.
I mean, still, right? A Fix being able to find 3 there and picking up 2. The smoke, they played with that smoke so well. Even though the smoke was meant to hurt them from the push, they played really well countering it. And as soon as they heard the thrash come through, it's like, all right, we have a 1v1 against Omen. We know we need to take that fight. They take the fight, then they go for it, and they can isolate the 1v1s. And I think Fix knew that even if one player went down, they had a more advantageous position. Just the read wasn't there for KJ lurking around. And honestly, that's what's been making Prolific win so much. Their reads.
Ooh, Yuki onto that op here, picking a return when Cookies was down, but that doesn't really help them too much here. So now we're seeing a situation where basically they know that's op is terrible idea to go through Mount here, but that's it and done. Looks like mid is a little bit more cleared up, and they can try and force their way in here. Rain already sitting out with Kuzla, just wanting for an opportunity to push this in. Now, as we see that sights are already down, they are pushing in from the corner right there. And I don't think it's going to help them out too much. We have the bomb body out right now, but nothing's coming in from here. Fix is around the corner. They might see a new here, but ooh, no contact at all. Hawks out.
Flash. Ooh.
Kuza waiting for opportunity. Maybe we see a from the shadows, or maybe even just a raw paranoia to see if they can get something in and just force their way through. Raw paranoia comes out here. The breach comes in. Dizzy out. There's absolutely a lot of players in there, and they are able to take them out. Nicely done. Kuza taking for 2, and now they have the fun situation for themselves here. Teleporting a little bit further, just give them positioning advantage, but right now, last player standing, essentially. They have a Showstopper and Yuki. And I'm not too sure what I can really do with Rain coming down for 1 here. Fig's going to turn around, not see anyone here. But the operator to challenge them is going to be the one thing that can stand between them and defending this fight. Everyone has to turn this back in as Fix. There we go. Another one for the side here. Signature ability charge. Cuts out to Fix. Now returning a favor. 2v1 situation. Yuki's looking a little bit low as well. So it's not looking too good. But from behind, a new. Where is it at? Where is it at?
I mean,
That's all I can see. Look at
it
this.
was a solid play. I love
Look
the
at this.
replays, by the way. Thanks to the replay operators. Hats off to them. Just Kuza's just hiding in a corner, right? I think Kuza is the IGL, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So having that read to just like stay on site is kind of interesting, because normally we see duelists stay on site, but Kuza doing a really solid job here. And if you've looked at the dominance on the map so far, it has been 6 rounds in a row, 5 in this half, 1 in the previous half. Altogether, it has been consistent for Prolific Esports here. So they are coming into this rather hot. Fix going for their ultimate, finding one on to Hayden. They are going to be wrapping things up here. At least they're trying to. Twisted Saints Esports, not so saintly, not so delicately pushing in. Prolific does bite back, but dang, they have done a lot of damage with their aggressive gamble play into Rebel.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, that is one beautiful showstopper, really stopping them in their tracks here, as Twisted Saints have now put themselves in a favorable position coming forward here, but they still have to contest him quite a bit here. The Gecko and the Killjoy is still alive here, as we do see Yuki coming from the back here. We are going to see the operator actually make himself nick them up. Sorry, not the operator, but the Outlaw here, making himself nick one back. Who's going to wrap around the corner and not check his corners here is going to be themselves as well. They are going to get the defuse now, and that is beautifully done. 11-7, they're putting themselves back on the board.
Ooh, 7-11, 11-7, whichever way you want to read it, but it works out. I get to see another replay coming through here. I mean, shots are found. Again, just Fix being able to have a solid read. I also love the play with the satchel, just satcheling through, and then boom, they're out of position. At this point, it's going to bring Twisted Saints back into this game and hopefully give them some momentum, right? We talk a lot about mental, we talk a lot about comms, at least I do, especially as a color caster. Like, I want to make sure that their comms are clear, they have a level head. I mean, we haven't seen, another interesting thing is we haven't really seen too much mental warfare. Like, we haven't seen too much trash talk. It's been nothing but respect from both sides, which honestly, I think, like, especially for the first game, they know that they have to like be very cautious of that because they want to win out. And they know that if one team starts doing that, it'll start to snowball, and then eventually it'll be like this giant mental game between the two of them.
Ooh, and now this is going to be a situation they really want to try and turn this around. As they make this one back up here, they're not going to see anyone in their sights, but side A basically has only one player defending.
Cover going out.
Alright, now as we look at it now, they are just kind of waiting for opportunity as Kuza is preparing that paranoia, pushes out here, and the Trasher to just come and initiate here. But what a discipline here to just continue spraying in that one spot here, making it for one. Fix was unfortunately found here with the Bean Seller. Kuza is able to push it all on his own, because that being said, Team Prolific has the advantage with numbers here. Neon has the Overdrive on standby here, and maybe we might see that be popped out just to really force them to really play safer, because Twisted Saints Esports, I mean, 3 players. I mean, just why not just pick them off here? Get secure yourself the match
30
point.
seconds left.
That is going to be what we might see. And Thrasher is also on standby here. Unfortunately, being taken down, Hayden, Reyna returning in spawns here. And we have the Thrasher to just try and initiate the fight here. Responding to that, we are not going to see anyone, unfortunately. We have the opportunity to see the cams here, and we see nobody. But from the back of the defender spawn here, they now know where it is here. Kusa's waiting for opportunity here. They are not going to see the Rolling Thunder hit anyone here, but from the back, Kusa taking out one with the dash here. Zyrox returning a favor. 2v1 situation. They have the angles locked and ready to go, and Zyrox has no way around this, actually.
Yeah, he's caught between a rock and a hard place. I mean, they spotted him out already. Getting
know
cooked
they have
between a molly and a
information.
mosh pit. I mean, it's between a molly and a mosh pit, right? Like, what do you gotta do? 3 HP? They're gonna molly it again. It's kind of over here for this side of Twisted Saints. It seems like Prolific had a pretty good read here, but Zyro has an opportunity.
no
The
way.
pre-file was there. I mean, they read into the pre-fire, right? They're like, okay, they peeked into it, saw the pre-file, immediately fell back. There was an opportunity to pick off 2 and then try to defuse, but realistically, it's going to be Prolific hitting match point. And again, just not only the micro adjustments, but also just like as a whole, the round that it played out, the way that Prolific has been playing on the second half, really goes to show why this is a attack-sided map. And I also just want to give hats off to how Prolific played on the defensive side, playing it kind of like they played attack, right? How they're playing it right now, they're getting really aggro with retakes. And that's something that we haven't really seen from the side of Twisted Saints. They have done pretty good on the retake together. And the one round where they really gamble stacked towards a site and pushed in, it made sense. But other than that, it didn't work out for them. It's also, I think, Twisted, I think Prolific losing a weapon there is going to be really bad. Okay, no, Rain recovers it. Look at how Rain juggled it in. No, it does, because Prolific has on a Twisted Saints is on like a broken buy. If Twisted Saints gets a better weapon, that'll be rough. Like, look, Bean Seller doesn't even have a gun. So if they lose that gun, that could be huge momentum shift.
It could be a huge momentum shift, but at this point, they have actually the ultimates to kind of contest against them. So the guns might not be the difference maker here, but actually, we're going to see if we can use the Seekers to seek them out here and maybe a Rolling Thunder to just force a fight. That could be the difference maker more so than the guns right now. I mean, Sheriffs, if you have a hit to click on, I mean, that is yours for the taking right now. But all said and done here, nerds, I mean, we have our differences, but the main thing comes down to whether they can actually line their sights on this.
Yeah, that is for sure. Prolific does have some solid ultimates on the board.
Oop. Gonna see it here. He's just sitting in this smoke. It is scary to say the least. The paranoid comes out and he's gonna try and maybe spray. No, backs away here. We do see the lockdown coming in and he's gonna sit in this weird corner for himself.
I mean, how are you going to play off the lockdown? What is the situation to be in here? Watch this. Jet's going to pop some utility, hopefully to apply pressure. They need to go for this defuse. Jet goes down, countered with the ultimate, pushes in, but gets stunned out. It's just going to be Twisted Saints winning out here on the defensive side. The retake comes through. Really solid play from Twisted Saints. A new 2K is going to be a little too late. And again, I don't know who the IGL is, but I think the IGL kind of calling that, being like, hey, let's play further back, pop that ultimate to scare them, and then immediately dying. Like, okay, I don't know if it was a call or if it was the individual player. The breach ultimate really saved them there because it created so much of a pressure vacuum that instantly collapsed when Twisted Saints got on onto the site. So once they popped that ultimate and entered in, they managed to retake. Otherwise, I think it would have been over. If they didn't have that ultimate, I feel like it could have been over, especially with a new 2K playing further back off their util, and especially with the players having better weaponry up ahead in tree. They could just take in shots if they decided to play slow. And that's the one thing from Twisted Saints, that if they just consistently play fast retake, I feel like they'll do a pretty good job. Oh, look at the ultimates coming out here this time.
I mean, yeah, like I said, right, if they pop the ultimates here, it's more game-changing to actually give the guns away because they have so much space to control with the Rolling Thunder as well. It's just, like you said, the vacuum comes in. Beanseller trying his best to make something work here against that, but with Fix aim, it's just insanely godlike here. Fix trying to find something right now from the corner, but again, everyone's just not going to force mounts at this point. It has happened multiple times, and they should know this. Wrap back around here, as we're gonna see. Yeah, they're just gonna keep waiting. I mean, they have no reason to force this. We are gonna see them try and pop out here, absolutely finding no one with the scout. But hey, that being said, though, they might want to try and rotate around. We are gonna see Sky approach that situation and maybe protect B side and see if they want to try anything funny there. But Looks like they're all just committed to going for A. We do see a smoke coming out. Information is there as the Omen attempts to rotate here. Kuza is just going to try and sneak around. Does not see anyone behind the box. It's just going to wait for it. And right now, I mean, nerds, the situation is looking a lot more favorable for Twisted Saints Esports. Even though they are down one ultimate against them, From the Shadows is on standby. They have the chance to rotate, but look at that. Side B is going to be the one for the taking here. As Miko sprays and prays here, they have the punt down, and this is going to be where they try and force the post-plant situation.
I mean, if they can force it down and just really hold it off, they do have really strong ultimates here. From the Shadows already popped to give them information. Rain hiding in the corner. Fix finding 3 here is going to be huge. Again, it's those fast retakes that have been working for Saints. Fix popping the ultimate to lock things in. Fast retakes, the name of the game here. And I think that Twisted Saints finding that has been the golden goose. On the flip side, Prolific having really a rough time combating those fast retakes. I feel like what they would need to do is take things back, take a breath, take things slower, try and take more players out before they enter onto the site, right? For the side of Prolific, play default. Get a pick and then go onto a site. Maybe trying specifically to find an initiator or a duelist, because there are 4 of those. There's 2 initiators and 2 duelists. If you find at least one of those, you've already cut your chances down by 1/4. You find another one, boom, that's 50% odds that you'll have an easier time, and so on and so forth. Especially if they decide to kind of slow things down, because they've been slamming onto some sites pretty well, and it's only been mildly working. I will say there's a neon ult in place, so all of my words could be for naught.
Like you're
They
saying,
already find Bean Seller, so that's I said find one of the initiators, and they found one of the initiators, and they found a weapon to boot as well. Fix is gonna pop off though and get popped down. Oh no, okay, yeah, Prolific might just win this. All of my commentary might have been for naught.
Yep, electroshock therapy does come in here. Cookie's gonna wrap around the corner. The Saints might be able to turn this around here. They still have 2 players against them, but one Trasher to just initiate a fight here might be the difference maker, as we are gonna see them pop out here. They have information coming in already. To the Saints Esports have to try and wait for opportunity to come around here, and they do pick out on the side. Zyrox cleaning up this game. Team Prolific 13-9, and that is a beautifully done game all the same. To the Saints Esports had that one in the back foot, slowly turning this around, and right away, just a little bit slippery slope there. Just whoopsie daisy.
I'm just gonna say they did a really good job of playing together, and I really thought, okay, in my mind I was like, they've been slamming onto sites that hasn't been working, they might want to default. But again, the neon ultimate really is the great equalizer, right? I think you said it, electroshock therapy. That's probably the best way to put it. But it finally works out, right? At the end of the day, it is defense side map. It is still really good to slam on Lotus, and it still works out for Team Prolific, who have won this time around. So hats off to them. After this, I think we're going to be heading to Split first, then Ascent to close things off. And I have a feeling with the way that Lotus went and with this break, there will be some counterplay, some changes to Split for the side of Twisted Saints Esports.
I mean, we did definitely see how it's going to play out here. And like you said, we are going to go through a short break. But just my closing thoughts on this, Twisted Saints Esports and Prolific, I mean, they have a lot of things going for them coming to this tournament. $1,000, I mean, in group stages. They don't want to lose this opportunity out, and especially since this is such a hellish group for them. This is like the hell group to watch here. So I'm hoping they can really make something work from this. And otherwise, the main aim of the game here for them going into Split is maybe not to split up that much. But that being said, let's drop into a 5 minutes break real quick here, nerds. I'll see you in a bit.
I need to watch out for this people holding his angle. Oh my word!
Still forced to swing and does do so with the updraft. Reed not expecting the second one there. Lewis with the blade storm is going crazy.
Drop down the operator and pick up the back though. Last round and care. He is not able to get anyone as the counter flash is there. And but the deadlock tries to steal his teammate away, but he's gonna be surviving immediately with the team play card. He's just gonna deal some damage, but he's gonna be easily taken out. And OOT just way too aggressive. Ay.
Oh, I see the vision.
Hello everyone, welcome back, and of course, you know who we are, right? We don't have to introduce ourselves again, but you know what I will tell you is that if you're back here and you've not watched that first game, shame on you. Now I'm gonna give you a brief rundown right now here. So nerds, hold on with me here as we are gonna talk about who has won the first game coming in from Team Prolific versus TSE Esports. And drum roll please, because Team Prolific took that first game in this one. And now we're going to match point here with TSE Esports on the back foot. I love tech issues. I don't know if it can be heard here, but yes, we were talking about how, TSE Esports versus Prolific has been seen in the past year from the Reynas, from the shadows, and now they're been into Overdrive here, but we are hoping to see that they don't actually knock each other out, but they won't, I promise you. They're in the group stages, which means at the very least, anything happens, it's just going to be a salty run back later on when they get out of group stages. So, with that being said though, Team Prolific versus TSE Esports. TSE Esports won 2-1 last time.
Hello.
So maybe TSE Esports might be able to turn this around. So I do believe Nerds has returned. Have you here? Are you here? I can hear you. I can.
Production,
can everyone hear you?
Oh, praise the technology gods! What the?
Welcome back.
Anyway,
welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome
Hi,
back
I'm very
indeed.
professional. Hi, I'm very professional caster here. I don't remember what I was saying, but I will say one thing. Oh wait, I do remember what I was saying. I was gonna say the exact same thing. Last game went to game number 3, so I don't expect this game to end off here. I have a feeling that we're going to see a best of 3.
Right, we're gonna
the game
see
has
the
already
agent
started.
selects here, and we're gonna figure out how it goes. And I do believe you guys remember the map picks and bans. But if
Yeah,
you
it
weren't
should be
here,
split.
obviously you wouldn't know. So we're going to split for this one.
Split, locked in,
Chamber,
indeed, and
chamber.
honestly, chamber? Why chamber? I mean,
Chamber.
I feel like out of all the maps, I feel like this is the most valid map to play chamber on. Not gonna lie, I do think though that it is. Yeah, it is the best of 3. Someone in production was like, best of 3. Yeah, it is the best of 3. So we do get to see the second one. But I also think that Team Prolific does have a real shot here to end things off. Twisted Saints need to bounce back in some capacity. And now that I am hurt, I get to kind of yap a little bit about it. Because Twisted Saints didn't do a they didn't do a bad job. They did a pretty stand-up job fighting off against them. It's just a matter of how they... Are you just happy because Chamber is going to be played?
Chamber's gonna be played. Woohoo! We're gonna see the Odin Chamber.
You think so?
Well, bet 100%.
And I was gonna say it's on one of the higher impact players. It's on a new 2K, and a new 2K. We talked a little bit about them being a high value, high fragging player, but not specifically in terms of numbers, specifically in terms of who they have killed and the multi kills that they got. It's just like those really important kills rather than the high amount of them.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to see how this one really pans out here. Of course, while they do have Tour de Force here, they also have Tour de Eat My A Lot of Bullets Odin. So we might have to see whether that comes out into play here. But the main thing that I have to keynote here is that this time they've opted to go in for a Viper here, which after the nerfs here is still fairly strong, but I don't know if it's the correct play on split, you know? I'm not feeling Viper. That's the main thing I don't feel here. But we're gonna have to see on the first pistol round how they make this out here, nerds. But what do you think?
I mean, this is the pistol round, so it's hard to say.
I mean, I meant the Viper pick.
Oh, I mean, Viper is nerfed, but they're still really strong. Like, there's no reason not to pick them. I'm gonna be real. Still really
Oh,
incredible.
but
Okay,
here,
no,
true
Mick 2
sewers,
has.
true sewers.
No, they had the
From the back
distraction!
now, you turned around! Miku's gonna take this one real fight here as Yuki picks up a second one. That is insane coming in for it. He was already there trying to pick this one up here. Another pick for himself. A free sheriff essentially, and another one bites the dust. But another one bites the dust.
I mean,
They found my wire. They found my wire.
And I'm having...
honestly,
okay,
I
hold
agree
on.
with you, production. I hear
predictions.
production murmuring,
Yes.
like predicting, like, oh, we're going to map 3. I agree. I have a feeling we are. Twisted Saints Esports gonna get the plant down here. They have 3 players, and their post plant looks relatively good. They know exactly the positioning of the side of Prolific, and they've got low HP on some of them. Oh, but Prolific is here. Yuki finds the 4th. We spoke a little too soon. Talk about high impact. A new 2K gonna steal it away.
Replay that. No, we don't need to see the defuse. Replay that. We got this one so ready for it. There we go. Look at that with the plant situation. Anu was just sitting down preparing for an opportunity here as the entire team had to follow up. The scout did pop out here and they had information, but Anu was not spotted in this entire fight, which means he was able to just wrap around here and get himself a free kill. So insane from that. Prolific already up from that one, which means they've got everything they need to just secure another 2 more rounds. I mean, beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, they win this round. They're most likely going to win the next round. They're buying up into it. It's just that counterplay that comes through. A new 2K again. High impact. Talk about high impact. Oh, Yuki getting
Like,
caught off
Kingdom
guard
come
though.
around the corner.
Also, Yuki buying up a stinger here, so there could be some counterplay. Yuki finding one, getting sprayed through Mick. Oh, Mikul is just
Flash
in
out.
a rough spot. I think they're gonna push this though.
They're gonna try and force it though. I mean, they have the Spectre coming in here, trying to route. Oh my
But
god, he was able to
okay,
pick up one of the
again.
beat seller here, but returning a favor is a stinger. Ooh.
And then also, like, people are picking up weapons. Like, look, Fix also bought up into this. A new 2K is going to be fighting off against them with basically a Guardian in hand. Oh, they're winning these fights. Oh, Twisted
Oh, they
Saints
are
decided to
winning
buy
these
up, and they decided to cook.
Oh, and they really did cook indeed here. They did not want to give them the free round all the same, because at this moment, they are going to get the plant. They are going to turn this around the team Prolific here. With only 1 agent here, it's just not looking too good. And he's postured just to call it safe, essentially. They have information here. I'm not too sure if he really wants to force this against a Bulldog, so maybe they won't even try to go for this. Ooh, good try here. He has his sights locked down here. If anytime Yuki walks out, it's gone. Flash out, nicely done. Not seeing anyone. Maybe they see the bait. Comes around the corner. He's not going to be able to flick and swing hard enough for that one. And Zyrox just sitting down there. This is not very good for Kuza here.
Yeah.
And as I said, I mean, why would you try to get another kill here against 2 people who just have their sights on you? They're angled for this.
They're winning out. Good for them, right? I mean, more specifically than anything, they have just been consistently pushing through. The one thing that I'm kind of excited about to talk about here is the fact that, like, because Twisted Saints was able to win out there, it's going to change up the economy, basically nullifying the standard pistol round gameplay. And I honestly came a little bit off the back of Yuki, who has been a really star duelist for the side of Twisted Saints Esports, not only finding 6 in these past 2 rounds, but also picking up weapons for players like Hayden. And that real combination, sorry, not Hayden, for Twisted Saints Raze, a Fix, for that kind of counterplay to have drop weapons for your teammates, especially in those really crucial rounds when you're fighting off against players with better buys. That is going to be real impactful. Yuki looked the right way.
Run corners. Oh, nicely done here. Hayden, where are you at? Fix with 2 on the Guardian here to start this one off for himself. Team Prolific has a little bit of a back 10 here. And after taking out 2 on the side here onto Cookie, this means a 3v3 scenario. Beta trying to make his worth here with the Bulldog, but just not able to pick up Kuza, which only has a ghost, by the way, which means, surprise, Cypher was able to make it out alive.
Oh man, I feel like Twisted Saints, right? They've gotten themselves in a really strong position here, but the fact that 2 were found for the side of Prolific is going to be rather rambunctious. Twisted Saints pushing in. They take the shots through.
Nice.
They get punished. Fix has the read. No, there's a player
Fix
there.
comes in. Let's go.
Oh,
The
it's just
tree?
gonna be a new 2K. No, it's just a new 2K.
He has to wrap
They're
this one
vibing
around here. Anu is going to make this work again with the Phantom. Smokes are down. Finally, he's going to be able to see it. Unfortunately, just not able to make it work against the Vandal here. And now we know which is the better rifle.
Yeah,
Please don't kill me. I'm so sorry. I did not mean that. That was a bad joke.
I mean, realistically, right? For the side of Twisted Saints, they had rifles. They had reads. Fix, I think that final moment, they gets cut off at the perfect time. It was almost a disaster. It's on the tip of it. And look at the buy here. A new 2K, I think, gonna go for an orb early. I would say, so like go for an orb early, get a pick, and then pop ultimate. Is that the play here? I mean, realistically, the tour de force could be very good to swing something in their favor. Hayden pushing up early. Great play. Team coordination to get things started. And I mean, look at this. They're funneling all into A here for the side of Twisted Saints.
Right. And here we go. Another one collects the dust. And this is the second one coming for trade. Zyrox picking out Hayden here. And this is beautifully done. Although with one player left standing, I'm not too sure if they can really make anything work here. And well, to say it has to just kind of decide whether they really want to force this here. And nicely down on the Zyrox here, taking another one here, but he's got to fight against two right around the corner onto the box here. We might see a third one coming in here. Seekers are out here. Can he make it work? No! Anu is trying to prove himself as the king here. As we're going to see the replay. Look at that. Back one.
Anu 2K has been the highest value player for the side of Team Prolific. It's just the value like for their picks that they find.
Just saying, you guys can get your fantasy league out with a new 2K. I'm just saying, he's really good right now. Looking.
Hey, you can't discount both Fix and Yuki, who have absolutely dominant solo performances, right?
Oh, so really sexy.
A new 2K, right? Like very good at individual plays and also very good at like impact frags. But in terms of numbers, they have not been like super consistent with it. A new pop into Tour de Force and not finding much. The space created in mid creates a vacuum that they can't collapse on because it's being filled in with the spaces. Team Prolific is now in a bit of a crunched spot. Like, where do we go? They're still just playing off on their sites, which I appreciate, but mid has been taken and they can go to A or to B. Right, it's like a gamble for the side of Prolific.
And now we're gonna see if they can really make something work. I mean, that's the main thing, right?
I think it's just as much of a gamble for Twisted Saints too, right? Because they can get crunched into mid, but they're not. Like, it seems like Prolific not finding the read, not like, okay, we're not gonna push into mid. We're gonna just play off on our sites.
Now we're gonna see whether this Tour de Force really gets anything going for them. The only tour I'm seeing them is a tour back to spawn if they don't make this work. We have, of course, the showstopper coming in here. No information found. Just waiting up. He sees the one, gets it down. Nicely done. Fix is now gonna be looking real happy after that, especially with Judge going to smoke here. Beautifully done. He's gonna actually surprise him around the corner. I do not know if he wants to wait here or he's gonna wait for the smoke to just drop down first. There we go. Information. Wait, he's got it. Fix is sitting down there, and this is the scariest part because they now know everyone's gonna come around corner. It takes one for the side. No, not enough. So many pellets into the head, but just not cleaning it up. Such a painful situation for them. Kuza's just gonna wait for the opportunity here as Cookie wraps around the back here to join with his team, and now we're gonna see if they can make something work from here. 3v3 situation. One boost very low, picks it out here. Kuza is down for the count with the trade. Really cool with the Tour de Force here. Finally finding his mark. There it is. 2v1 situation. They do pick up one from Bean Seller. A nuke is going to do it again. What is going on here?
Oh my god. I mean, I'm telling you, a new 2K, highest value player. I mean, realistically, think about it. This player for the side of Team Prolific, not only now reaching like 7 kills, but also just like super consistent with their clutches. And
I just want to know
a thorn in the side of Twisted Saints Esports. What do you want to know?
Yeah, I just want to note that a new 2K is like $189 inside the fantasy league. He's like cheap as shit, dude. Okay. What the heck?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Oh, god damn it, my team's locked. Oh. It is insane.
That is honestly interesting.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? But as we go on to this one, I'm not too sure how they can really make this one work here. They have the paranoid popped out here. The information is kind of just, you know, it's a sitting bank right now. You kind of have to look for it, and that's the biggest issue I have. They are opting to just play it slow here. They put the spike at the back foot here. I think they're just looking to see if they can get any picks, informations first before they do anything. But, ooh, Yuki almost making it out of that one. But there it is. Showstoppers on the side here. We have the Rolling Thunder as well to Prolific. Maybe we can see something happen. Things going out with the Boom Buddy, not seeing anything. Rain has the Paranoia on standby. Maybe they want to push together.
I mean, if they push together, it probably would be the smartest position. Rain playing off the break. Great usage of utility there from both sides. Rain finding the pick early is going to be good for them, especially because now, I mean, I would say not early, but like, you know, in the mid round, finding it in the first engagement going in their favor is still really solid.
Let's see if we can
Nonetheless,
make
though,
something
I
work
mean,
here.
they need to
Ooh.
fight this off. Anu's gonna fall back. Like, there's no way you fight this.
Oh my goodness, Kuza and Anu just going down to Yuki just like that. What a aggressive push in from that, initiating this, and they're able to start landing on that spike for themselves. And now Prolific looking a little bit worse for wear, but they have the Showstopper and Rolling Thunder, as I've said. If they want to really make this work, they could absolutely do it. The only ultimate they're contesting against is from the shadows here. So now Yuki lighting his sights up, sees one. Doesn't know for it. Comes in clutch on that one. Mikul coming in for that. And we're gonna see if we can make another one work. Perhaps around the corner. Comes around and we do see it happen. One pickup onto Hayden here with the double satchel. And now the Showstopper coming in, not picking it up. They now know that Zyrox is there. It's just waiting for opportunity to come in. Sees it pick out here. Oh no! Two for the side here. And there it is. Nerds! What happened there? Can you call it back for me, please?
I think I'm speechless. I mean,
It was-
Yuki managing to pop them through, and then immediately, like, I don't know. It was I'm words.
Right. It was beautifully executed because we saw the peak and the discipline to just not just like trigger happy on that. And it worked out, but just at the end, oh my gosh, they somehow stabilized us back to a 3-3 situation. And it's starting to look like game one.
I mean, it is starting to look like game one, where the first half was a little bit like balanced between them, and then immediately it's gonna fall in favor of one team. But I doubt it's gonna happen. And I feel like if it is gonna fall in favor, it might fall in Twisted Saints' favor, considering that their composition allows them to be more aggressive for retakes and aggressive for pushes into a site like this. Especially because it's not Lotus. There's not gonna be 3 sites. It'll be a little easier for them to balance. I would say, hopefully, because we all want to get. I feel like the broadcast crew was talking about game 3. I was talking about game 3. The fans want
I'm
game
not talking
3.
about game
Twisted
3.
Saints want to. You're not. You're the only one. I
I'm
think.
the only one who's not talking game 3. And this is considering because I've seen Twisted Saints Esports and Team Prolific fight it out before. And I really don't think that they need to force a game 3 here. I mean, if Prolific's winning, Prolific's winning. If Twisted Saints winning, Twisted Saints winning. It's very easy to tell with these two teams because of how aggressive they are. They like to control their leads and force it out.
If Twisted Saints wins, I mean, they're gonna be going to game 3. And look at right now, Twisted Saints finding 2 picks on the ground. Prolific is on a lower buy here, but like, still they have some sheriffs in hands. There's no bite back. There's no trades coming forth here. Last 2 players with sheriffs as they're trying to make something come out, but it's all 5 players left alive on site. Twisted Saints not even investing their ultimate. They just have Yuki opping. I guess it's time for Yuki to shine, and they're gonna stall a little bit more. It's just a matter of like hunting down this final player.
Ooh, and there we go from the corner here. Miku's gonna wrap around. Oh, choosing a utility when you're not supposed to. You knew there were players there and you still pressed it on. Not something you want to see here as Cookie. We do see on the replay. Look at where they're really positioning here. They're not really forcing anything at the moment. They're just slowly pushing in and they're able to slowly take picks here and there. Nicely done through the wall, the Bulldog. But hey, that was just the first of many. And right now we look at their buys here. I mean, the operator looking very juicy on Yuki still has not been taken down. Oop, and here it is. I mean, full out right now, nerds. What can they possibly do from here? Is the question. Already Nick just like that. Wow, a nuke just scarily close to that bullet line.
They're waiting around here. The flash comes through as well, so they're gonna have early info here. No, Hayden, don't leave him alone. Okay, no, Hayden's not gonna be going out alone. I feel like if Hayden like decided to get really aggro there solo, it would have been really bad. But because they managed to get one and get out here, Prolific is now going to be on the upper foot. They know the position of these players. Jet lurking around towards A with the default Viper wall. I mean, they've gotten a lot of space for that for free. I just realized I have not been paying attention to the Viper at all this game, so I want to see how they've been playing out through and through. Fix does not go down. Okay.
I mean, all said and done, Zyrox is just kind of waiting for opportunity here with Fix, and I'm not really seeing anything come up of it. Given how aggressive Anu has been pushing forward, just kind of feels very scary to kind of go against him. You see an op and you compare it to Anu, same thing, right? I don't really want to contest either of them. So there's that. But right around the corner here, we are going to see they can really take anything happening here. I think information is kind of just there, waiting for opportunity to shine right now. He wraps around the corner to see Hayden, unfortunately getting nicked already before they even got the chance to look at them. Hayden going for another one fix here, and of course Kusa to Yuki. This is a one situation that I do not want to see Twisted Esports in. So let's see if they can make it work here. 1 kill, 2 kill. He's able to make maybe one more at most, but calling a save might be the best thing they can really work for here. He's going to wrap around here onto a new 2K.
No, Zyrex has him isolated.
Any pick is idiot. Any pick is important. Oh, taking it out. Turns
No,
around
he
the
needs
back.
to get
Unfortunate.
Oh, Lord. I was like, Zyrex could do it. Zyrex could. They had the like the very narrow like razor's edge timing, and I always love seeing how players play those very vital micro decision situations. Like, how am I gonna peek here? I'm gonna peek here first, and it was very possible. Zyrex, I feel like the moment they got the 2 picks, they needed to run on the site like immediately. That's my read, but that's just like because I can see it as a caster, right? Like obviously in the game, it's like, how are you gonna know? Like, how are you gonna know? They played it right by playing it safer, but it was so close. And now in the timeout, it's gonna be a matter of like how, in what capacity do they work? Like, are they going to change up how they execute? Are they gonna change up how they, what's it called? Play slow. I mean, their slow plays have been mildly working, but it hasn't been as consistent.
I think the biggest issue they have right now, I mean, personally, I think, especially for Twisted Saints Esports, is that they had a lead and they keep losing that lead. In fact, we've seen it happen time and time again, especially in game 1, where they just a little bit up again, and then they just give it away. And now it's equalized once again. We might even see a situation where it's 6-6 and we go into the second half, which I don't know about you, but Twisted Saints Esports just cannot afford that again.
They can't. No, they've if they get early picks and then they can't convert from that, it's just gonna be super inconsistent and hard for them to even like remotely come together. But I still think that there is, I think there is something to work with. Like there's some room to work with for these guys.
Ooh, now let's see if they can make this work. Nate's out here. They have information. Fix is sitting around the corner here, and know where he is. 1 pick up from there, 2 on the side, and this is the 3rd one coming in. If he wants to try for against Mikul here, but he has to bait for a situation. The Boom Buddy's out here, and now can we see anything? Nate's maybe just trying to smoke him out. Is he coming out? He's not coming out here. Satchel's out as well. We're not seeing anything work. Satchel pops out, nothing happens. Mikul's waiting through that. Again, so disciplined, just waited out, checks the corner, knows there's nobody here because we have footsteps walking away already. And this is gonna just be a weird situation between a 1v1 duo that just never came to be.
Oh, and Prolific is down in the dumps right now. Twisted Saints doing a lot better in terms of their slam towards A. I mean, the retake needs to come out here. Prolific does still have a really crucial key to the pie, but they're not going to go for it. I mean, they did have a breach ult, which is why I'm surprised they didn't go for it, but it makes sense nonetheless.
All right, let's see if we can take anything out from that here, because this 1v1 was definitely very interesting here. Hayden was just waiting around the corner, but then again, Fix pops out for 2, and then now this weird situation where they were just like throwing utility, hoping to smoke Mikul out, but the discipline on him was just great.
Oh yeah, like the I would say each individual player has pretty good like game sense. Obviously, I mean, of course, obviously, but I do still think that just generally, I would say I'd favor Twisted Saints a little bit more. They just took a timeout. They should be kind of going into this hot yet again, picking up the 6th round, hopefully picking up the 7th as well to continue some of their dominance. But at the end of the day, it just matters how Anu can play here. If Anu gets this 1 pick, it'll be crazy. Yeah, it'll be good for them because now Cookie can't lurk up. So they have a lot of info towards A site. Like nobody should be towards A. Another thing that I didn't mention too much for Team Prolific is they got double sentinels, so they have a lot of map control. A slightly unpopular strat, but one that works really well, especially if you have a new 2K playing on that chamber.
I mean, map control is always very important. It dictates how you can actually segment your fights here, and that's always one thing that I'm really appreciative of coming in here. Hayden taking one of his shot nicely down to the Guardian, but the Paranoia is going to pick him up here in Zyrox as well. Now this is going to turn this around against Mikul, but I'm not too sure how this is going to turn.
Ooh.
As I sneeze down there, do not worry about that. But Rain trying to make something out of here. Fix gonna have to back it out. The showstopper now up here. We're gonna see Kuso just around the corner here. Maybe they want to pick it up. What on earth is happening here? This guy's throw it out. There was such a line for him. He just threw it into the smoke. He might have been able to make something work, but hey, you know what? That's fine. Kusa wrapping around the corner here. He's gonna see two on the side here. One bean seller. And there we go. First on the side here with Zyrox bean seller. And now back in here. Anu's just gonna pick it up, but down for the count. Now again fixed with the 4K. Insanely done. And Twisted Saints back into this really strong.
Nah, I mean, at this point, right? Twisted Saints popping back in here. I mean, I don't know. The timeout coming out is going to be very nice for the flip side as well. I believe I heard the production say it. This time for the side of Prolific, right? Because it really does remind me of the previous match where both teams are kind of butting heads against each other and they're pulling back and they're changing up some of their strategies. I think both teams are really good at executing fast and taking out picks, like just really fragging out, killing all the players. So it's a matter of how can they mitigate that as much as possible. And for the side of Prolific right now, even though like Twisted Saints is up by 2, I talk about an early lead that they lost. Like I'm pretty sure Prolific got the early pick. They took down Viper. They took him down so quick, and then they still like had a rough time of it.
Yeah, but what can you possibly do from here? And that's the biggest issue and concern that they have. Because score now is 6-4 in round 11 of this half. So we need to see whether Twisted Saints can continue to hold this lead and turn this into a 1-1 situation, or will we see a 2-0 coming from Prolific as it flips over to the attacking side for them, and then all of a sudden it snowballs from there. That is what they need to figure out right now if they want to take this one 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to. Are you calling us trash? Huh?
Yeah.
Production?
I'm calling them trash. I'm calling them trash. Production can call it trash, but I'll call them trash. You know, I've seen the C's work it out.
The internal flame. We were talking about Team Prolific and Twisted Saints flaming each other. The internal flames are brewing, but the flames and the fire and the passion of esports has to come through here. Zyrox pushing into mid. The shot comes out for Yuki, but it's not found. I love the attack op. I think I've been saying I love too much. I enjoy watching the attack op because you can get really funky with it. There, we'll go with some different phraseology, but I still have the same sentiment. Attack op could be very strong for the side of Twisted Saints esports, especially to continue some of their dominance. If they can find the 7-5, that's a 2-round lead going into the next half.
And they do need to find a 7-5. I mean, maybe not a 7-5, but 8-4. This is something that's absolutely doable for Twisted Saints esports here, as they have the advantage coming in here. But a very weird thing you're talking about is attack op, right? But what about the attack Viper pit? I mean, you know, if they can't see me, I can't see them. You know, it's just, it can just work out. And as we're gonna see if that really is the play here, and my nonsense is actually rewarded, we are gonna have a little bit of information coming out here with Cookie being for one. They might have saw a second one potentially, I'm not too sure, but hey, look at that. From around the corner, Anu's able to pick that one up, and now they have to really contest against such a strong defender. Oop, another one down.
Shots come through, found out. Kusa finding 2 there, and the time being running low. I mean, Team Prolific seems to lock it in. I mean, there's no time. He needs to get the plant. It's an impossibility. Team Prolific is just going to play further back and win. And that's a solid play. I mean, it's slow. It's methodical. It's a lot less chaotic, but it still works.
For sure, for sure. Ooh, but right now the question I have in my mind is like, is there something they can possibly do to turn this around? And I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, for Prolific, right, they played slower. They just got the early picks and they kept their lead through. Whereas on the flip side, right, Twisted Saints, they've been slamming pretty hard. I feel like again now it's time to reassess. Like, okay, let's do kind of what I said earlier, where you poke and prod before slamming, right? You default into a slam. Right. Oh, but look, they 5-stack towards A, and they're gonna slam on here. Yuki already has space on site. Kaza trying to go for some sort of counterplay, but not finding it just yet. Viper's pit comes through. I mean, I guess I can see why Twisted Saints is gonna be going for it, but Kaza finding 2, it's huge. But not finding cookies. That's gonna keep the Viper's pit up and active. McCool taking out Bean Seller as well. I always want to say Stalker is gonna make it rough and tough, but Prolific, again, like really fast on the retake. And again, that's what I was saying. Like, if they just slam onto a site, I don't think it's going to work. This isn't Lotus where you have 3 sites. This is completely different map. You need to poke and prod before slamming.
Right, and as we're gonna see how this pans out here in the replay, we are gonna see them just breaking it out from the trap wire here, and of course Kuza just sitting down there. They were able to set the pit up, forcing them into a great scenario to push in here, but it's just not enough, all things considered here. The pit was great, but can we really say it's a good situation for them? Because they kind of just costed them so much here, as Prolific was able to take everything back here, pushing this into a 6-6 scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, internal flaming. Let me hear what production is
0-0.
saying. Because, like,
0-0. In my mind, when it's 6-6, I try to tell like teams and people it's 0-0. It's a new, fresh start. We have 6 rounds to play here. Like effectively, it's a fresh start. Let's not leave everything behind us, but let's leave the pressure behind us. We know what the teams are like. We have the information. Well, let's take a breath of fresh air and realize that it's just this pistol, it's this round that we need to do. And that mentality hopefully carries over as well. Because for the pressure side of things, Twisted Saints needs to win this. They win this, it's over. Like they're going to game 3.
I must wait a moment.
It's a really good mindset.
For Prolific, they want to win this so that they don't have to go to game 3.
Yeah. Great mindset all in all, because I've never heard of that being said in that way, right? Putting a 6-6 scenario makes you a 0, but there's another thing you need to note, which is that if they win the pistol round, that's essentially a maximum of another 2 more rounds they get.
Oh, Cookies!
Which will hurt them out. Oh my god, one pickup here, nicely done on the Kuza here with a retrain trade, a Cookie. Nicely done, but it's not going to be enough to get them. It's a nice trade.
The thing is, it was really close. It was really close to being a sweep there from Cookies, but they retake the space, reclaim it, fix is already there, finding one good target prioritization. That's the spike down.
Nicely done here. Scott information here. Hater's gonna return this one, and last player standing. Zyrox again has to make some play here. He's jumped out into entire zone here from around the box. He's gonna see Zyrox gonna contest against them, and there's absolutely no way the amount of HP he has to take this one home. But 7-6 Prolific is again in the lead. Oh my god, Rain, you really started doing this now, huh? But well, as I'm saying, right?
The mental warfare, it's finally coming out here.
I mean, these two teams know each other well, and when they start to do that, it just kind of means that they have an idea of how this is going to pan out, which I agree with them, because Team Prolific winning that pistol round means that they've got about the next 2 rounds set up for themselves, potentially. I mean, at least 1, right? Unless we do see Twisted Saints just buy out and like turn this around, but I think it's safe to say that Prolific has the next few games in the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Prolific for 2, 3 on Prolific, 4 Prolific.
Wow, Prolific.
5 on Prolific.
Flawlessly. I mean, I see what Twisted Saints was trying to do going into mid, but they just got cooked.
Yeah, I mean,
the productions are like, what are we gonna clip? What replays are we gonna do? Like, we can't have a replay because like it ended so quickly. The thing is, I saw what Twisted Saints was trying to do. Like, no, well, Twisted Saints was trying. Are you saying that to the production? They skill issue.
I'm saying that to production, yes.
No, but the thing I was gonna say is, on a real note, right? Like the way that they played that, Twisted Saints was trying to pack hunt, meaning that they were gonna play all together, and then from the pack hunt, they were going to play together, try and find well, they're gonna try and find a gun so they can have a better weapon, but it didn't really work out for them. Oh, Hayden's going so fast. Oh, he's not clearing anything, he's just going for it, gets punished in return, but
run for death. Still. Let's go.
No, Kaza still manages to get the trade regardless. Cookies finding one. They're going to keep their momentum forward. Twisted Saints does have better weaponry here, so it's their round to win by the statistical analysis of Valorant, but statistics don't lie. Liars use statistics, something like that. I don't know.
Kuza, Rain having themselves a little bit of a standoff here. Is he gonna wrap around? Hopefully you find someone to actually stand out that isn't from Team Prolific, their team. Beat Seller wrapping around the corner, Cookie there as well. We're gonna see them have contact right now. Beat Seller's gun might just be peeking out a little bit, and we're gonna see that turns around. Nice swing, but just not making it work right there. But there it is. Kuza waiting for an opportunity, knows that they're there, uses the camera to try and smoke them out here, but now has information that they're still there. Not too sure what you can do with that information, but hey, you know what? Time to make your play here. The spike has to be planted at any point in time. Down for 2 right now, and this is going to be time to shine here. Fix the plant. Maybe you want to force it in. Comes out the hop. Nicely done. Waits in the back here. Turns around. He's not able to pick it up here, and there he goes. Cookie for 2.
I mean, that Twisted Saints. It was their round to win. They have 3 players. They carry 3 rifles into it. Just a classic bog standard Val. But the one thing that we haven't seen come out just yet is a new 2K. Like we've seen Hayden pop off and Kaza pop off, but Mick Cool and Rain have really been like in such a like background character vibes, right? I want to start seeing if a new 2K has been having a rough time of it, I want to start seeing the rest of Prolific lift up these players. Now that's not being said that they did win the pistol and the buyer or the pistol and the boat, sorry, anti-eco, wrong one. They won the pistol and the anti-eco, but their bonus was a little bit rough. They only got 2 players out when you're trying to get 3-4 players down. Oh,
And
Cookie.
right now they're gonna see if they can turn this around. Cookie for 1 here, now returning a favor. Miku Hayden taking out as well. Now this is gonna be a bit interesting here because they have the place kind of locked down here, and I'm not too sure if they really can retake this one just like that. They have to group up and maybe push it through mid here, and that is the only way I can think of.
Careful.
Oh. Oh, Kaza.
Oh no! Turns around here,
Oh, they're
Zyrox
really well
cutting
together.
something. Miku getting one.
Last player standing.
Sun comes through. McCool falls, and again, a retake from Twisted Saints works out.
Gun here.
And they just make it work here. Twisted Saints now again relinquishing the title of King. Is Team Prolific giving it out to Twisted Saints for having to somehow manage to equalize their entire lead. Games are stabilized right now. Twisted Saints looking to try and make this one into a 1-1 situation. Team Prolific slowly losing that entire lead from their hands here. That 1 game lead is so important to them, and they want to just kind of clean this one up.
I mean, if Twisted Saints can clean it up so well that they get themselves a ticket to game number 3, then so be it, right? We talked about, I feel like everyone on the broadcast is like, yeah, well, we're probably going to see a game 3. I feel like even Twisted Saints is like, we're going to see a game 3. And I feel like for Prolific, they need to use that. They need to use that kind of like, okay, we're going to game 3 like mindset to hopefully hone in on how Prolific is playing and any weaknesses that they have. If they overextend, if there's an over ego peak, stuff like that, really minor details that they can exploit to their victory.
Well, let's see if it really happens, because at this point in time, we are going to see if they can work a little bit more as a team to just kind of force a, numbers advantages. Maybe the main thing they can try here. They've been working so well in terms of everything else here. Maybe numbers advantage is what they kind of just need to, tilt over the edge. They have Showstopper on standby here in return against Prolific, but with a Neural Theft as well, it might make it a little bit hard for them to, do much if they are just clamped together. That Neural Theft is just not useful if everyone's clamped, right? I mean, like, so what if you know where everyone is? You can't take a 1v4.
Oh, there's a Showstopper coming.
Oh, the Showstopper
Pops
won!
onto...
Fix is gonna take a 1. Nicely done onto Cookie, returning that. Solo. 1, 2. Last one standing. We are gonna see Hayden gonna be wrapped around here. Absolutely no way he can turn this. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Fix took that kill for himself as well.
He did.
He did. Beansall was definitely, that was his. Fix, nasty. You nasty.
Nasty?
You're not
I would
in
say,
my fantasy league
really
team.
good, yeah.
You can't just take
like
this.
And this is a perfect timeout because Team Prolific has been kind of losing these early rounds. They found the first 2, but then they haven't been picking up much. They're definitely talking about their comms. They're definitely talking about how they're playing, because it seems like, it honestly seems less like an organized team and more like a pug. Like they're not like playing too much off of each other. There's no like set executions. I don't know if they have any set executions yet since they are a newer roster, but having some kind of like set play would probably be the way to go here.
Well, yes, it.
We haven't,
True.
I don't know, have we seen too much defaults? Like maybe I'm wrong, but I think we haven't.
Only 1 default, and that was in the that was a lot on the side of Team
Because
Prolific.
it's super early in the game. Like it's super early in the game for Twisted Saints to like try and like mess up and like switch up the strats so quickly, right? Because if you're
Right.
trying to switch up strats really fast mid game, like it's gonna be rough.
I mean, they could. They're just not gonna. It just doesn't make sense. It just hurts them so much more. But Twisted Saints is just gonna see if they can really make this one out again. I mean, Prolific's doing pretty well in the first game. Maybe it's just that Twisted Saints a little bit more warmed up now.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps.
Perhaps. Now let's see if they can really make this perhaps into a thing here. But from around the corner here, Fix takes out one. Zyrox holding out the angle here, and with that nade coming out, we are gonna see them just a little bit more assured of themselves that they've scared them off a little bit.
Oh, and now like again, it's just a slow play here because Team Prolific, they don't want to lose too much. They've already lost a player. Kaza is on I think eco buy, so most of these players are on ecos. Bean Seller has to read though, is gonna find him but not take him down. Kaza's still alive, hiding in the corner. Yuki taking off, decapitating one off screen. I mean, at the end of the day, it is an eco, so Prolific is going to have a rough time of it. They try to play a little bit of a high-low with a crouch peek and a regular peek, but it's not going to work out. Catching him off guard, 2 for 1, gets it out. Stinger up close. Cookies knows this, is going to peek, misses the shots. Twisted Saints is going to get the plant, and that's going to give them money, but they don't have too much to work with here. I think one of them picked up a Vandal. I think that's Reyna. Yeah, having a better weapon could be the crucial key point here as he's going to take down one more. It's so possible. Close range engagement. Reyna finds one. Needs to switch to the Sheriff. Head tap City. Ooh. A thrifty round found for Team Prolific off the back of such good play. I mean, realistically, right? You see this, right? This is what I was talking about. I remember we were talking about this together and you were saying like, oh, I mean, does a Vandal really matter when you have it? Yes, it matters. Like, it matters so much. The mag size, the capacity, and the ability to kind of have confidence when swinging.
Well, in this situation, yes, but again, that
it matters in all situations. You always want a better weapon. You just always want a better weapon.
No, of course you want a better weapon, but I mean, of course, in pertaining to the situation,
you have a 145 headshot from long range with a 150 if you do it on a Vandal. You just always want a Vandal, dog.
All right, let's see if we can turn this around though. Now let's gonna see this. Nate's out, has no information. They are gonna know where they are now, as Zyrox is just sitting down there waiting. Fix is around the corner right now, and ooh, pushes him off here, but nothing too happening right now.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Could be fun. Oh, they have information. Yeah. They have information. They want to really make them come out here. Now they have information for 2, having hurt the Sky and as well now Fix going with that Boom Buddy. Checks around. He's gonna wrap around here. Nicely done. I mean, you don't really want to just stay there too long.
Showstopper? I mean, if Hayden can find at least some pressure, no.
Nope.
Doesn't find too much. Cookies is gonna find one immediately. The cookie crumbles as it falls apart, and Spike goes down. Prolific. He needs to play some damage control here. The Spike needs to get planted as well. They know that A is going to be more or less clear. They do also have some really solid ultimates. Hayden finding an early pick is going to be good. What? Paint shell? I thought they were going to pop it into vents in case there was another person coming through.
Not too much. And they don't mind me saying this, but they also have a Viper's Pit on standby. I'm not too sure how it's going to turn around.
Reyna finds one. The defuse needs to come through. Yuki pops up top. Not going to find much though. Reyna going to grab it. I mean, realistically, I mean, the Viper's Pit is one thing, but for the side of Twisted Saints, their retake was a little, I wouldn't say it's rough, but it definitely, like, what's the word? It had some issues, like, for Twisted Saints as they were pushing in together, especially because the read was a little off and the timing for Prolific was a little stronger.
Right, and as we do see this right now, though, 10-9 economy wise, the ultimate economy looking a lot richer on the side of Prolific with a Neural Theft. 2 of the 4s, they have Rolling Thunder from the shadows. In return, on the other side, we have Seekers, the Pit, and of course from the shadows, which are all very passive when it comes into this. I don't really know what you're trying to seek out when it comes to the defense side, but hey, you know what? A little bit of information may really turn this around, so who knows? Now, wait for the opportunity. They're just looking for something, anything to start them off right now. Buddy is out here. They have information that,
Oh, Prolific's just gonna... Prolific, please don't push into this. No!
Oh my
I was like, they're getting a little too over-aggressive. The trap was set for the side of Twisted Saints. They're trying to go for it. I misread that, though. Twisted Saints should not have pushed into it. Rolling Thunder comes through, takes one off from the side. Yuki goes down as well. A new 2K doing such a solid job of maintaining space. It's going to go down with the plant, and it seems like Prolific is looking to bust the hearts of the production and not send us to game number 3.
Ooh, this is going to be very dangerous for them. Twisted Saints even pick one aside of Raid here. We still have 3 more players down, 2 left, and there it is. A new 2K was just kind of sitting down there. I'm not too sure what I was doing. Maybe just letting his team, farm a little bit of points here, which I'm totally down for. But hey, you know what? I've got points to earn my fantasy league, so you need to start working your butt off.
I mean, realistically, I think there's a whole lot that can be done here. Prolific now close to match point. It's going to be 11-9. Twisted Saints, they have a good amount of ultimates, and I feel like an early Viper's Pit to contest either B main or A control. Honestly, if you pop it towards A, you can control both lanes. It could be very beneficial, or you can pop it in B main to get super early control and contest mid. I mean, there's a lot that can be done with this Viper's Pit that we haven't really been seeing. Same thing with the Seekers. Outside of Team Prolific, they're probably just not going to change up too much. They've been slamming and doing a way better job of maintaining their control as they slam, being slow and steady, trying to get a pick before fully getting that plant down. We honestly see a lot of the times the plant going down with 3-3 players rather than 5 versus 5. And I feel like that kind of difference maker really helped for the side of Team Prolific, because even if it isn't, super in their favor, it's still 3-3. You're like, what's the difference? 3-3, 5-5. Well, the difference is you don't have as much utility to deal with, right? You have like easier odds at that point, especially in terms of positioning. You only have 3 players, and you know that most of them are rotating off because you've taken the site and you've cleared it out. Whereas if you have 5 players, you don't know if someone's lurking in screens, and then you peek into screens to try and clear it, and boom, you get headshot in the head, and boom, you're gone.
Yeah, right now the biggest issue is about all of that is peeking out against a tour de force, which again Team Prolific is looking so much more dominant at the moment. So we're gonna see if we can make this work. Doesn't say it's opting to just throw the Viper's Pit through mid here, just lock them out. But little do they know that no one is actually waiting in mid, which is gonna be a very, very sad situation for them. That pit is just kind of wasted into mid, even though some might say like, hey, you know what? You've deterred them even if they weren't going there. The thing is, they are just in such a strong and dominant lead here. They are postured for success and they just wait it out. They are going to see that Yuki's unable to pick himself up against the chamber here, which is going to hurt them a lot, especially since Tour de Force is active. And now the Paranoia is on standby here. We're going to see pop it off. Maybe you can find something here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing here, as Yuki's just going to wait for an opportunity to turn this around. Oh, there we go. Hayden for 1. Zyrus returning in favor. TPR, where are you at here? Come on, Prolific. Seekers are out. Information is gathered. They have information for 2 at the very least. 3 at the back here. Satchel coming out. Fix is gonna see 1 nicely done on that lineup. And there we go. Showstopper coming in. Does not pick it up. Turns around. Picks it up still. Fix going so strong here. Twisted Saints is able to turn this into a 2v4 situation.
And again, right, this is something that Prolific was looking for before pushing in, but it seems like Twisted Saints has re-evaluated their situation, and they keep more players alive in that later game, bringing us to double digits for both teams. This is going to be a very intense couple of rounds, right? Because this game means a lot for some of these teams. Not only is there a personal grudge match being played out here, but there is also this sort of underlying tone of like Twisted Saints, right? They're the well-oiled roster going up against a new kind of like shaken up Prolific. They've kept some of the old core, but they've also like broken up some of the players. So at this point, not only is it the team history, but it's also the new players versus some of the older players who have been playing in the Reynas, who have been playing as a squad. And it seems like Prolific is doing a good job of contending with some of the players who have been playing for a while. So it just goes to show, right? The Pug style has worked for Prolific. And now with that storyline being set, the old versus the new, the team grudges together, Prolific wanting to win so they can 2-0 the people who took them down earlier. Zyrox taking the first pick on one of Prolific's really high value players. That is going to start us off in a real rambunctious spot, I would say. Rambunctious is the better word.
Maybe rambunctious, but then again, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Prolific still has the lead here, and while they have lost 1 player, they have nicked the curse quite a little bit. So we have a very weird Omen who's just kind of sitting down there like, I guess I've got Paranoia to like pop off, but otherwise, just not in a great spot overall. Hyda's gonna see if we can wrap around the corner through mid here, maybe make a pick, or just wait in the smoke here. Cookie, Jazz waiting for information. He has information that someone might be coming out here. Who knows? Oh, they have information. Now Hyda's gonna rush in for it. Pain shells, boom buddy, something's gonna pop out to just make them come out of their hiding spot. There we go, comes out. They have information that at least one of them is at the back here, and he's gonna spray and pray here, almost licking Cookie out of that, and that's gonna hurt them quite a bit.
Oh, they're pushing into heaven, trying to get some space. Contested Bean Seller falls. Aiden's gonna grab them. It seems like Prolific has most of site control, with Kaza grabbing Fix is gonna be locking themselves in. They're trying to hit this match point. Plant goes down. Mikul pushing off to the side. Zyrox pushes
Ooh,
in with the
Zyrox.
picks, but they're not gonna get a pinch. Cookie only finding one. There's 2 players left alive for Twisted Saints. Low HP. They fall back onto the site, leaving just Kaza on the corner, finding one. The assist slide
one.
up. Zyrox finding Kaza to get the trade. There are 2 players. They're not gonna. There's no way they line up here. It's just gonna be a matter of being a nuisance, right? Like, we're gonna be a nuisance. Oh, peeking out a little bit. Peeking out a little bit.
Nice
Here
one.
we are. Here we are. Oh, but Zyrox doesn't know. Zyrox doesn't have the read. It gets found out. The shots come through. Zyrox. Does he have time for the defuse? Yes, has time for the defuse. It's gonna be 11-11. Zyrox, the solo play clutch.
The double 11 is now online and ready to go in our Titans of Tier 3. And now this is going to be a very interesting one, as we are going to see how Overdrive might have its returning rivalries be shattered here. Because remember, to say Esports was the team to actually make it out here with a 2-1 situation the last time. And I don't know if Prolific can really take another loss like that moving in through this group stage. This is going to hurt them a lot, but I would love to see if we can topple this giant of their own. So this is going to be it. 11-11, they need to take this 2 games in a row and not force an overtime.
Yeah. Oh, Yuki has this. If Yuki can find the fix here, it might be the end of it. Oh, no. A new 2K popping their own ultimate, the tour de force to have some sort of off. Yuki holds off on it. Finds the second on a new 2K. I think Team Prolific has, I mean, they did some rethinking. They had the read there. It was a bit rough, especially in the previous match. Like, they should have won that previous round to lock in match point. Now they didn't.
Here we go. Waiting on it. Kaza sees the lines. Knows that someone's there. Waits for opportunity. Yuki holding on to that very, very cleanly. Just waiting for someone to move in. An opportunity, a line, something to spark up a fire here. As Prolific is now down to 3 players. I mean, they have a showstopper. That is technically 1 kill already in the bag, so long as you don't mess it up. But is that enough to really turn this around? Kaza pushing in forward here. Has information that there's someone there. Is going to wait it out. That one is there. Does pick up the one. Euro Theft comes in. They have information on where they are. He's going to back away here, and now they now know where they are. Viper is now around the corner. Just waiting for it. Nicely done onto Cookie. Nice. And that is going to be it. Beans,
I mean,
slowly waiting for opportunity. 3v3 situation. Nerds, what were you saying?
I mean, I was just gonna say, I feel like if Prolific can't win this, like, we're not gonna get into match point. Oh yeah, look, Beanseller has been dominating here. Beanseller is here. There you go. Prolific wins. I feel like at this point, with Prolific winning that, it might lock themselves in for the overtime, because I doubt Twisted Saints Esports is gonna go down without a fight, especially after the previous rounds that they've been winning and how dominantly they've been showing up here. Don't get me wrong. It has been a little rough, especially with Twisted Saints finding those opening op shots and Twisted Saints being able to do a lot of damage early on. But in the later half of the game, it feels like both these teams have been able to swing the pendulum back in their favor. So it starts off like, oh yeah, one team's dominating, and immediately, whoo, goes in the opposite direction entirely.
I'm just kind of interested to see if they can really make something work from this. Team Prolific, like I said, I mean, whoever wins the first round, I was going to tell you already 2-0 on the spot. Because these teams know each other like they're brothers from another mother. And so we're going to have to really see if they can turn this one back up into their favor.
Slow and steady, right? Wins the race.
Slow and steady.
It's usually the way that it goes.
The discipline is there for them. They have to wait it out here. You can see Cookie's getting a little bit agitated, just like moving back and forth. You're trying to find something. He's not going to be able to see the chamber here, just moving so much. And this is going to really cost them. Prolific sees it. There we go. Spots it out.
Spots two out mid, so then they have some information here for their side. And that's probably like the biggest important thing. Like, they know they're going towards mid here for the side of Twisted Saints Esports, since they're on such low buys. Yuki gets spotted, though. No, one. Now needs to get aggressive, finding two, finding three, locks some up. Twisted Saints Esports, again, I said they're not going to go down without a fight. Obviously, Yuki not wanting to be spotted there, but regardless, it's found. Cookies now playing with their teammates in new 2K. Taking down Bean is going to be really good, but it's not going to be, it might not be enough, right? Because Team Prolific, they only have 2 players and they're separated so far away.
hard choke there. They were able to make the trade, and now we're in a 1v1 situation. Team Prolific has to push in for a last kill or force into a plant.
it
Oh
is
no,
free
run
though.
to the corner. The swing was beautiful, but Zyrox picking this one up. Now we're into overtime situation. What a throw coming in from Team Prolific.
I mean, looking at this, right? Yuki was trying to get spotted through here, but managing to just find a couple of the picks. I mean, 3 players up. Just a lot of stuff that was going into that, compounding on it. 12-12 on the board. Match point for both teams, and it just gets denied. So now it's win by 2. You have to be good on attack and on defense. And from what I've seen, right, like both these teams have been having a harder time in different areas, but not specifically on one like side, like not on defense or attack. It's like very variable still. It's not like, oh, they're really good on defense, oh, they're really good on attack. It's like they have certain issues, but they shine in different ways. Seems like a 5-man slam towards B being held by Cypher for the side of Team Prolific, so they'll have the read there. Kaza getting spotted out. So much util dumped on them, unfortunately. Kaza now needing to hide off in the corner.
Ooh.
Not finding one for the site take will be rough, as Prolific now is playing with a man down.
And a man down is not really that dangerous to Prolific. I mean, we saw it happen just now.
Oh, new
right?
2K.
They were like 2v4, they still made it work. Comes out around corner here. Prolific taking one. A new 2K is getting his groove back into this one. Wants to get maybe a 5K to really send this one home for the team. And now we see right around the corner. Fix, nicely done.
Nah,
what
just this
beautiful
high
launch.
impact. Talk about a high impact here.
Yuki.
Like, even if a new 2K goes down, like, it's still such impact. Such impact!
Nicely done.
Finds the 3, leaves Yuki alone, gets flashed out of position. It's just 3-man retake. They don't line up.
There's no way you can line up against a tree like that. I mean, really, it's just really hard to do it. But they still make it work here, and there it is. Prolific up 1 game onto the match point here.
Switching sides.
Oh, yeah. Match point locked in overtime. I mean, I talked about this before. Timeout getting set up here. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's interesting. You know,
It's coming from Prolific.
It is some. Whoa, it is actually. Wait. Oh,
Yeah,
this
which
might
is
be bad.
important. This is a very important timeout. Regardless of which team had called this, I think it's important to know. I mean, I was on the desk with Mini yesterday, and obviously I know kind of like maybe his inner workings here, which is to make sure that they understand the situation better and to not really choke it up. They have that.
I get it, but like at the
plays,
same
right?
time, listen, it's gonna give. Sorry to interrupt, but like it's gonna give Twisted Saints some time to breathe. Like that's not what you want. You want to be pressuring them. Why are you
I
giving
really
them time to
don't think
breathe?
it matters. In this situation, they have everything they need, right? They have the
I've
vibes.
seen it matter so many times. I've seen it in Counter-Strike. I've seen it in Valorant. I've seen it in Rainbow Six. Like in tactical FPS, right? Like you have a minute to breathe. Like rethink your strat. It could sway it in their favor. No, don't get me wrong. Like, it helps both sides, but still, like Twisted Saints, I think benefits from it more than Team Prolific. Because the momentum, the pressure.
Right. But remember, Team Prolific can still turn this around easily. They have come out from 1v4 situations out with almost everyone did. It is still absolutely fine for them, and I think Minis knows what he's doing. I've seen him in action. I know what he's gonna go for. He's got this. Team Prolific has this one in the bag. They're not gonna choke.
I would believe so, especially because they're on attack here and they've been rough running it down. Zyrox is going to get spotted almost immediately off the rip. Players flooding in. First shots
From the
coming
corner.
out for Team Prolific. Team Prolific out here to fight through. Twisted Saints, they understand, all right, it's going to be an A hit. We know they're going to be here, so they try to go and surround these players, but it's still not going to, it might not be enough, right? Because Yuki buying up of, oh, as an op, could get the read. Great pick onto new 2K because that's going to provide so much pressure. Twisted Saints Esports, he knows exactly what they're doing. Hayden trying to play off the trip but not finding too much. Prolific has the bomb down. They're playing off for the time. Rain with the trade, needs to fall back, is the last player. Shots onto Yuki, needs to be the leading charge here, but he's going to get pinched from the sides. Twisted Saints, and I am telling you, this is why I'm a color caster. I've casted Valorant for so long. That timeout 1000% helped Twisted Saints. And I am so happy. I feel so vindicated saying that because like timeouts are so crucial to this game.
No comment. No comment. I mean, absolutely.
No, it's all good.
Felt
No,
like,
I get you. I get you.
I mean,
man.
look,
I get you.
look at the replay here as we do see them just slowly be picked off left and right. They were just not covering their flanks here, which I mean, props to them. They had time to
did.
really plan it around. Twisted
So-
Saints just had time to
what is
just wrap and do everything. But
They had one flank covered, but they didn't have ramp covered, right?
Right.
And that's where we saw Yuki pop out of, and that was the biggest kicker. That was the biggest issue, was that they couldn't have that covered. But at the end of the day, like they didn't expect Yuki to pop out really aggressively with an op. They more expected holds out of them, and that's where that op kind of counterplay really fell into it a little bit more.
Now let's see if we can really turn this back around. I mean, not too exciting because just whoever wins this needs to win the second round. So we're gonna see if they make this one out.
I'm relatively excited.
I'm excited for
I'm excited. Which
wait,
team's gonna?
I'm
which team's
excited for
gonna come
28th round. I'm excited
mean,
for 28th
also-
round, not this round.
through?
The 27th
I mean,
round is like whoever goes.
I mean, I also mentioned like the bomb goes down without too much of a fight. Team Prolific lost only one player. I mean, they're still getting ready to try and retake this. Fix is waiting off on the side. They have a lot of ramp and heaven control, but they don't have too much control of any other lanes here for the side of Prolific. They need to get it faster. They're playing slower for this retake, and it hasn't really been working. Fix finds the trade. Prolific looks like they're doing pretty good, but it looks can be deceiving as Yuki finds two. 3. The drop down takes them. I mean, Twisted Saints now taking the lead here. We might be going to game 3.
Who knows? We might be going to game 3, but if not, who knows? Still a little bit too soon to say. They have to take this one back. They have to take this one back. Twisted Saints is going to be 1-1 situation if they win this. Match point again. Now this time going to Twisted Saints itself, Prolific.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, Team Prolific, they have some work cut out for them here, especially on attack. They had a harder time on this as well, right? They had a harder time on attack when they pushed through. And I'm telling you right now, like timeouts are super important when it comes down to this type of stuff. Oh, Rain has the read. Rain has the read. Prolific starting off early with the pick is going to be huge for them, especially if they can get from the shadows set up. Wrapping back into B, waiting before they take a push here, because a lot of mid control has been lost for the side of Twisted Saints.
Now they're gonna see if they can turn this around. Cages are up and ready to go. They're locking them down and not really any way to push in from there.
Oh, Cookie also has the read here.
Oh,
no!
there we go.
Okay,
Nice
so
pick
1
up
for
here.
1, but look, they've lost so much. They've lost all their smokes for Twisted Saints.
3 into zeros, gonna come up around here through the ropes, and we are gonna see if they can make anything work from there as they push out through Haven. Zyrox is right around the corner, but that smoke's gonna hurt him so much. Right now, side A,
nah, Twisted
gonna
Saints
push in.
here. They need to speed things up. Twisted Saints knows that there's some players here. Zyrox, yes, pushes in, spams through in a safe angle. Rain is going to go for this plant for Heaven, even though they don't have too much Heaven control here. Flood coming out from screens, a new 2K spamming through, not finding much. Shots are forward. Hayden pops it. It's not going to work out. Zyrox trades on the field, but Team Prolific has the numbers right now. And I think it's such low HP onto Yuki, who's still alive. Spam comes through. Zyrox with the 3-piece milk. Oh, McCool,
Cool.
this is all for all the marbles. It's information gained for Zyrox. Just needs to play it through. This was a 1v1 that we saw previously, and McCool has come back for revenge. Remember early in the round? Early in the
Yeah,
game
we
when
did.
it was a 1v2 and Zyrox just absolutely rocked them? Oh, man.
Standing in between us
And we're now back into this overtime situation again. Prolific, another chance at it. I am so pro Prolific. Look, guys, I'm not like saying I'm pro Prolific only. It's just that I've made the call that whoever won the first game would just win. Okay, so this is my stance. Twisted Saints, I love you guys, but I've made my stance. Okay.
You think
But
so?
yes, at this point, stuck here again. 14-14.
Okay.
Wrapped around.
Scout destroyed.
Ooh, it's going hard.
I mean, Okay, this round is gonna be. I feel like if Team Prolific could win this, I feel like it'll finally be locked in because they're not gonna do. Hopefully, they're not gonna time out again. But
Timeout
Team
again.
Prolific.
Timeout again. Prove them wrong.
Oh
Let me
no!
prove my point.
Oh, a new 2K
Ooh.
getting caught off guard. That's bad for Team Prolific,
All
especially
right,
because
look, Prolific
they're
loses.
pushing out of
Alright, Prolific
aggression.
loses. Oh,
No,
they
I
lost.
mean Prolific was getting too aggressive. This is too aggressive. Like I get the wants to lurk and try and push out, but like a new 2K has been doing a good job of it, but it's just not right now. Like, it just didn't work out for them.
No, we're gonna see if we can make this one work.
Prolific needs to retake. Are they waiting for the mid players? Oh, they're playing slow. Kaza is waiting to see when they peek into him rather than pushing out the mid players.
Here we go. Kaza sees the peek.
Gets one more. Gets a second. Rain popping off another one. Team Prolific is coming out here.
Nicely done.
Oh,
Cookie's
Cookies.
gonna rep round.
Oh, Cookies
Oh
is
my
waiting.
god.
Oh, Cookies waited.
Last player standing.
Prolific only has one player. It's just going to be Rain trying to push back. Rain these players in. Gets it down to a 1v1. Is going to start the defuse, but pros don't fake. Gets that half, but Cookies pops him. 15th round found. Prolific wins out. And my read is that I think Twisted Saints has got this. Like, again, that timeout was detrimental.
Prolific got this. Prolific got this. Trust me on this one. I'm gonna keep coping, and Prolific got this. You know what? For my reputation, I will be called the most biased caster today, and I will die by that name. I will die by this as long as Prolific wins.
Interesting. Country roads?
To the place I belong.
I guess so.
And that's with Prolific.
So.
That's with Prolific. So we're gonna see if we can make it work. Yes, TSE does lose one to the side very early on. New finally trying to make the best of a situation that is given, not going down too early.
I mean, you can't go down too early. Oh, I mean, a new 2K here could find a really solid pick onto Twisted Saints. I mean, if Cookies goes down, I feel like that's a lot of mid control lost for these players. But Cookies also is playing in a little ratty spot there. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? Viper's Pit, Rat spot, kind of hand in hand, Viper and Rat. Oh, they're just waiting, trying to do everything that they can. And Twisted Saints did it looks like they popped their ult, but there's no ult to be popped here. Oh, they're waiting to go for the side. Kaza getting timinged. That's great timing.
It is great timing indeed. Now they've got a lot of information given out here. And again, Prolific has the spike down, which means they're in a better position than ever right now. To just force them back into their hands.
Scout destroyed.
Yeah.
Zaro's coming down. Information given. Spraying through the box, just not making anything work. We have the flash coming in here. Yuki picking out 1 2 Anu of all people. And this is going to be it. Oh, one more pickup from Yuki. Turns around. Prolific has 2 players left. Last 2 down. Twisted Saints. You wanna announce this? I don't want to announce this. I'm annoyed.
I told you. I listen. Again, it's just like the read, right? Like you time out after you have momentum, and then you have a really rocky best of trying to get to 2. Twisted Saints has your read, has your pulse. Like it just is what it is, and it's an unfortunate reality that comes through. I'm telling you, right? Like it is how it is. It's hats off to Twisted Saints. We're going to game number 3. It's gonna be on Ascent. It's been a long game, so we're not gonna wrap up too much. We're just gonna go head straight to a break and take a nice glass of water. So stay hydrated, homies, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Cheers.
I need to watch out for this people holding his angle. Oh my word!
Still forced to swing and does do so with an updraft read. Not expecting the second one there. Lewis still with the blade storm is going crazy.
Drop down the operator and pick up the back though. Last round and care. He is not able to get anyone as the counter clash is there. And but the deadlock tries to steal his teammate away, but he's gonna be surviving immediately. With the team TPR, he's just gonna deal some damage, but he's gonna be easily taken out. And OOT just way too aggressive. Ay ay ay.
Oh, I see the vision.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Reyna's Overdrive. If you don't know our names, once again, I'm telling you, you should have been here for the longest time. You should know who we are already. But you know what? You should do know, and why we're back here is that we have a 1-1 situation in Prolific versus none other than Twisted States Esports. Twisted States Esports have taken us back up into the field here, putting us on the board for this with a second game win.
I mean, like you said, second game win. I called it earlier. The timeout didn't work out for them. They played through an overtime. It was really rough between them, and eventually Twisted Saints just managed to win out. That being said, though, we're going to be headed off to Ascent. Will it be a repeat of last time where Twisted Saints Esports beat out in the best of 3? They won their best of 3 previously on Split and Ascent being the last 2 maps. Or will Team Prolific manage to bounce back? Will Team Prolific mount their comeback and win out on Ascent, even though they lost previously? It all comes down to this final map here. And generally speaking, I'm really excited. We're going to be heading straight into it, I think. We have some highlights. Never mind, actually. Production just told us we're going to have some cool highlights from the previous games.
Oh, highlights.
Oh, yeah, very highlighting one
Very
specific
cool. We're going to
area.
see the map.
Yo, I love looking at the minimap.
Yeah, honestly beautiful. Like, damn, you know, production.
Yeah.
Hey, shout outs to production. Like, you know, I should call out his name just for that. You know, Joe, you're amazing, man. Like, Akko's entire
listen. We get a live show. We get a live show of it moving around. Like it goes, it's moving.
Like, wow, damn, lighting it up. Oh my god.
Where's it going? Where's it going?
Oh damn! Now he's moving the whole thing. Let's go.
Frame out of position. You know, production slowly moving it up. Oh, it's enlarging.
And he's lighting it up. The shots are lined up.
The shots are lined. Oh my god. What a
he lined the frame up so good. What a good lineup. Yo, Joe's such a great gamer.
I love taking the joking around here. But the highlights, finally we get to see some of them from Lotus all the way back. It's refreshing to kind of see both these teams, but after the highlights, I think we're gonna get straight into the game. The teams are ready, the casters are ready, production, we're all like, we're raring to go.
No, production's ready after lining up that frame. Don't worry about it. 100%.
Of course, yeah. No, unironically.
Production feels good. Now we love you, production. Don't worry about it, right? You know, his name may or may not be Joe. You can figure it out. But hey, besides the point here, I think the one thing. Yeah, we get fired. Worst case scenario. The main thing I am interested to say is that because the game is going to be on Ascent as the decider map. I mean, I've always said this before when it comes to Ascent. It is the map that everyone knows. It is Valorant's like end-all be-all map here, and so it is going to come down to one of two things: skill diff or comp diff, right? Because everyone has a standard composition, and unless you're trying to shake up what you're running into Ascent, you're more or less going to come down to a battle of like who has better aim. So we're going to see how this pans out here, especially with teams that know each other so well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree with you, because realistically, compositions matter so much. Kind of jump down there for a second, and we saw Lotus split Ascent kind of being the decider how it pans out. I'm sad we don't get to see Icebox just because I like Icebox. I think it's funny, but I still think that it is, you know, there's some level of kind of counterplay on Ascent. I just get bored of it because it's the same thing. If they go for the standard comp of double initiator, KO, Sova, KJ, Jets, and then Omen, I will be very sad just because it's like we see that all the time.
No, I want to see a Neon because I know these
I want to see a chamber.
One of them is going to run a chamber, and he's going to run an Odin, and then we're going to play the game. That is all I'm going to say. We are going to see a chamber Odin game.
I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. I would love to see some counterplay. Who needs the chamber? Who needs the Sova Odin when you have the chamber Odin? That is exactly what would be. Honestly, that'd be really funny to see. But we're gonna once we get into the games, then we're gonna be doing it. I also just want a huge shout out to the Reynas who just had probably the funniest bar. Joe is just doing aim training right now. High key. Pretty real, pretty real. We're gonna call him out one more time for the wonderful highlight aim training reel, I guess. I hear him laughing in there. And it's all jokes and games until it comes down to here. Yuki going for the Reyna bean seller. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We get to see double walls coming out here. Who needs double wall icebox when you got double wall ascent? What is this strategy? It's not the standard comp. Oh my god, I am so happy. Double duelist, initiator, double controller, but it's double walls. Whoa, these guys have been in the kitchen for so long, the heat's getting to their head. Whoa.
And this is what I'm exactly saying, right? I don't think Twisted, when we come down to it, we did see Prolific winning their map pick, Twisted States winning their map pick. But if we're going to talk overall, I do believe Prolific has the better aim or skill, so to speak. And so I think the good thing about Twisted States running a very different composition, granted it is going to be a very aggressive composition, is that Twisted Saints is actually kind of, shaking up the meta for them. If they can't beat them in terms of skill, they're going to try to shake it up for them so that, they don't win from skill. They win from actually using different utilities. Reyna, of course, very, very selfish agent, right? So one thing they can do is definitely let her go on the alert more so they can try and change out how they make this work. The
Reynas, I guess.
But yeah, so Reyna, again, like I said, can just go on alert. Very special kind of agent that you want to see. But on the other hand, double walls.
I don't know. Reyna alerts can be hit or miss. It just depends on how fast they kind of come back in it, like how fast they get back to the team, because lurk timings could really be off sometimes. Like if someone goes on a lurk but then they don't rejoin the team in a given amount of time, like it becomes detrimental rather than helpful. So it's just a matter of if that Reyna comes through. Honestly, I would say Viper lurk is the true key here, because Viper acts more like a sentinel in a situation where they set their wall up and then they just play off of that rather than specifically playing off of their utility. The only piece of Viper's kit that can be moved is the molly. And so if you're lurking around, you just set up your orb, you set up your wall, and then you walk around the map and have a fun time.
Truly one of the best ways to play Viper. Slithering around. I mean, who would have thought?
Snaking around.
Of course, we're going to look at the other side of the composition. Prolific running a more aggressive composition, especially with Phoenix having buffed recently as well. The ultimate is going up very fast. We potentially can see 3.5 here. So, they have a lot of ways to scout out for information on top of a strong ultimate run it back. And now as we're going to see here, it looks like the Dark House is all cleaned up here. He's not going to be able to take the first one here as Fix does return to a nude, which means this is going to be a great situation for them. Cookie's going to pick out Kaza, and there it is. Last one coming in here. Bean Seller is now setting up for success with his entire team here. 3v3 situation, they're being post-planned, and there's no way they can actually pincer this.
Yeah, it'll be difficult for them. Team Prolific now. They do still have Sova, so refresh on the dart comes up. You can probably get information, but other than that, Prolific's retake will be hard.
They're so far back in, it really doesn't matter if they get the information, right? The wall comes out.
No, they just hide.
See how they go.
There is information gained, but they're still hiding out in Boathouse, like you mentioned. I think at the point, like they have to speed things up. No, they didn't have time.
Prolific does come down to it, though. Twisted Saints moving themselves up one round in this half. The first one in this half. So we might see a 3-0 scenario. Who knows? Or maybe Prolific buys up and challenges them here.
I also like this. Like both teams have no Sentinel. They just have Viper. And Viper kind of is going to act like the Sentinel and the stalling point. It seems really interesting. Because I remember Loud, I'm pretty sure Loud was the team that tried with Phoenix to get really aggressive. But that's because they had 12 rounds on attack. But then it was difficult for them to kind of get it together. I don't know how else to explain it. I think it'll be rough for both teams, but since they are such an aggressive comp for both, I don't expect too many slow rounds here. Oh, talk about the speed up.
Team Prolific just going so aggressive here, but I don't know if that's the correct play to push out so far in. They have no one to really back them up, and 2 players to 5 is just gonna hurt them up. But there it is. Miko going in the shot dart, trying to find his mark here. Spraying and praying. He's not gonna find anyone on that as Yuki now packs up here with the Spectre. He's gonna be able to find someone around the corner here. Nice corner check, but looks like Miku's already backed out here and tried to regroup his team. This 3v5 situation is definitely going to be something that they can take this back. A little bit rough, but possible. Goes around the corner here. Reyna's unable to make his mark here until the very end, but now that being said, though, nicely down onto Yuki. Turns around here. TSE is doing extremely well, and again, from the corner, picks him up.
Yeah, so and by the way, it was loud. They ran QCK had Phoenix. So they had Phoenix, Breach, KO, Viper, and Omen, and they won against Sentinels, and then they lost against Sentinels. So like they did have some success, but it was more of like a one-time success than like an actual like consistent level of success, which becomes rather interesting, right? Like how both these teams are going to be playing. I just looked it up real quick on VLR because I was like, I'm a nerd out about this. What other team? Is there any other team that ran no Sentinels that you know of on Ascent? New 2K has this read. No, they push out here, and New 2K is immediately going to like send them through. The problem is now that orb is locked in B main, so they're gonna have a really difficult time of getting rid of it. And this is where the double walls really comes to play. Yuki able to take that fight easy and free of charge, knowing that the players in market have no recourse. McTool, not finding much though.
Not finding it much at all indeed, as they're going to go through marketplace here. They are going to realize that Yuki's just kind of sitting down there waiting for opportunity. As the tide goes a little bit lower and, you know, sales is going to be a little bit higher here, we are going to see Yuki pop off in terms of the stock market, and that stock market stock is going to be in the face of Phoenix. And there we go, the first one coming out to Kaza here. Hayden's getting on Sarah, and Cookie kicks from Hayden. A lot of trades back and forth. I'm not going to call them out, just know that it's really favorable for the side to see esports here, as Prolific only has 1 player to defend this, and there we go. Back in the doghouse there as well.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Saints picking up the 3rd round here, showing a lot of dominance on this attack side with the double walls and how they've been utilizing them, setting up a mid wall with Viper and then utilizing the Harbor Util to isolate different areas and really give them a lot of positioning. An early time out here coming out from Prolific. Huge shout out to them to call it early, because at this point, it is the final game. Like it's the final game. They had some rough times here. It's their eco this round. It's most likely a bye next round. They're going to be discussing how to combat the double wall setup here from the side of Twisted Saints, because there's a lot of early information that they're losing. They're not seeing certain things. The angles are getting cut off, and it becomes rather difficult for the side of Prolific to retake, especially when they're losing certain players, certain key players like a 2K, right? Those
Right.
things are really important.
Yeah. And I'm not really sure what they can possibly do around this. I mean, as I take time to really think about it, you know, being a little bit more reserved than what I want to say, I feel like Prolific has... I mean, you know, the 3-0 thing is kind of just happened to them. They won the first pistol round. They just snowballed from here. But now that they've got themselves back into the game, so to speak, here, they can try and make something work from here. But I'm not really sure what they can do against an Empress as well. I mean, if they really wanted to just, you know, stop and choke their gap here, I mean, Twisted Saints to just pop in the Empress and try to go crazy onto all of them. That is one way they can really turn this around for them, forcing Prolific to be on the back foot again.
Yeah. I mean, Prolific, they have the eco this round, so they are gonna try and play a bit more cautiously, I would say. I say that, and then Kaza immediately peeks mid with a sheriff. Oh no.
You were saying?
No, I mean, I guess I was incorrect in my analysis. I was like, they should be playing a lot safer here. But instead they're gonna push to mid. They're gonna push to mid. Oh, if Yuki gets caught out here with a knife, it'll be so bad. Yeah, they have to switch to their weapon, managing to play off of it. The trade comes through in the form of Hayden going down here. Still, it's Pinstripes on the kill feed as it's 3-3 on the board. Rain shooting some shots through the wall, not finding much, but decapitates the door at least.
I like how you call it out just like that, but I'm gonna just say it here. they have the information they need to turn this around like that. Team Prolific's just kind of stuck in this corner where they can't do much here.
Team
Somehow,
Prolific
it's
bought
just not working out.
rifle. They bought sheriff, so I'm like, it could
There we
work for
go,
them,
nicely
but
done.
it's not. It falls apart. It falls apart. Saints gonna pick this one up again. They did get some early shots, but as soon as the site take came out and they had the hold, it was a little bit over.
I don't even think the issue right now is that Prolific can't turn this around. I don't even think it's their mental game. It's just their energy. They just don't have the stamina to really go for a game 3, and that's kind of crucial for like a long set like this when you're playing against a team that you know so well and you can bounce back and forth from. Because look at the scoreline, 4-0, unheard of against these two teams already. The most that we've got a gap at was at 3, which was just happened a while back, and now 4. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's 4 rounds up. We see Twisted Saints just vibing out here. Prolific buying up ops and whatnot. Yuki gonna push in here with the other duelist fix as well. I mean, the double duelist comp has been working so well for them, and Twisted Saints is just going to be carrying things forward. Zyrox pushing in, gaining even more control. We do see McCool not. Unfortunately, no chamber Odin just yet. No chamber actually at all, I realized. Unfortunately for you, right? Yeah, no, it's a bit rough that we don't see a chamber, but Prolific is kind of down in the dumps here. They have 3 players, try to push in, but it's still going to be difficult. A new 2K looking to find Cookies, who is just riding around. The spike is down. They have to push in some capacity. A new 2K still looking for Cookies. They're taking this close engagement. First one found, but they're going to just go and save. Like, for the side of Prolific, they've just lost 5 in a row. It's a donut on the board. Like, the question for them is, how do we stop this bleeding? Like, how is this going to be changed? And I feel like the answer has to come in the form of some sort of just like, I wouldn't say comp change, but just like strategy change. And for me, I would even argue like, you know, playing what is it, strong side, weak side could be it's not the best strategy, but it could be a strategy they explore.
It could be. And I really do enjoy what you're saying here. It is true that they can really make this one work, but again, that lead, that gap is just slowly increasing and increasing. And it's not like Team Prolific's composition is wrong, but not only do they have to fight against a shakeup in the meta, but also, again, it's just not working in their favor when you come down to that lead and they have no ultimates to really contest against them. Running back comes in here and they're gonna have the scout of their life here as he just runs it down. Look at the Phoenix, unable to make any play here, but they have information. Zara's picking up 2 for the side now, but of course the Phoenix still alive, and it just kind of makes them a little bit weird. Have a little bit of healing, grabs it up here, and he's gonna wrap around. Now, looking around, catwalk, very clean.
Yeah.
Being willing to just walk it down maybe, and just see if he can get a better position through mid. But everyone's just kind of
Prolific already hasn't played down too.
Yeah. So now they have the information. They have the ultimate utility on Twisted Saints as well. They could just force another fight here and win instantly, forcing it to a 6-0 position.
Oh. Oh no, missed shot. Twisted Saints is gonna have this space taken and created. Yuki already finding 1. I mean, it's like they did play strong side, weak side, but they've been losing a lot of players pretty easy, and they're retaking right now with 3 players. But again, they don't have the same weaponry. They have an Op and an Odin, which is really difficult to retake. You need at least 2 players with rifles to try and enter in here, and there's no I would say the biggest issue and detriment to having Phoenix is you have no controlled flashes. They're just pop flashes from the corner, right? Kaza is now back off to the side. Actually, interestingly enough, almost finding Yuki, but not locking it in. Fix gonna take down Hayden, so there's no op in hand. But again, right, like it's just these things, right? Like dude, I hear the production even saying, what can they do? Nothing. Answer is nothing. They don't have the weapons to do something here. Yuki's gonna go for the pack hunt, gonna get taken down for it. But again, think about it. I'm gonna talk directly to the production and to you guys in chat. You have an op, an Odin, and a rifle with no flashes to enter. What do you do? Nothing. Like, you can't, unfortunately.
Situation just kind of sucks for you. I mean, when you're sitting down with an op, like, what kind of firepower do you exactly have to, you know, cover for your team? Yeah, sure, you get a pick here and there, and that's the only way you cover yourself if there is like 10 million like smokes and flashes kind of blocking you. And that's assuming you can aim through the smokes and flashes. So situation just does not look any better for them, 100%.
Oh man,
Already.
Zyrax already finding two off the rip, popping out some more utility and weaponry. Twisted Saints Esports is looking to tear through Prolific, who has been having a rough time of it. Only 2 players here going for the retake. Oh, make that one. McBot's going down though. I mean, at this point, right? 3-piece found for Yuki. 7th round up, donut on the board. I feel like they might want to burn their second timeout. I don't know if is it 1 timeout per half or is it 2 times out per game? I think usually people do 1 per half. Although you'd have to check the rule book on it.
We'll have to check the rule on it. You're right. You're right. But we're gonna have to see if this is gonna be something they can turn around here, because I'm not really sure what they can possibly do to swap this back into their favor. But at least to my understanding, kind of just seems like they have the information they need to just turn this around. They have everything they need. The showstopper is out here. They're going to pick up one for the side here. They get traded off, but Prolific still has the Bladestorm, still has the From the Shadows and the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, it's 1 per half. It's 1 per half, so they're kind of boned here. And Prolific has no time to do recourse and reconnaissance. They do still have a decent amount of players up here for the retake, so I'm really happy for them. They have the capability to win things out. Yuki on a close angle getting spotted. Shock Dart comes through, gives away their position. They peek together.
Nicely
One goes
done.
down,
1,
but
2.
can't get traded. Yuki not finding much, but devastation. It's nothing else but devastation in Yuki's hands. They're finding every single player and just dismantling them. The 3rd is found, dismiss away. Kaza tries to find some more cookies to crumble, and that's going to be the 8th round found and locked for Twisted Saints.
And so right away, we are seeing them do so predominantly in their favor here. Look at that swing, beautifully done. Had all the information they needed just by putting in the pit here, forcing them to enter because, hey, you know what? You're in a post-ban situation. There's absolutely nothing you can possibly do but try to defend.
I mean, you can try, but it could also be in vain, right? Like, it's just again, it's trying to defend at this point. Prolific, again, they need to rethink some of their strategies, especially because they went for the Phoenix play without having too many like, I feel like Phoenix is okay, but I think the no sentinel double wall gives you a lot more control, and because of that, they're more comfortable here. Team Prolific immediately losing 1, but finding 2 in return. Okay, they're playing off the ultimate, so there is some room to work with. Now they have the numbers advantage. They have it even more. Okay, 2 players up. It would be the 1st round found here for Team Prolific. They have From the Shadows. They have presumably, I believe, full utility for some of these other players. Yeah, look, full utility, no molly, that's fine. Phoenix still has a decent amount of util here for Team Prolific. They can win this. They either need to draw out the timer or find Fix here. But Fix, oh, they're leaving. It's isolated. Kaza, he will have to take this 1v1 and doesn't know exactly where to look. He's stuck in logs. No, just Kaza's just chilling in logs. They're not going to clear him, I don't think.
I don't think they'll see him. Oh,
no,
wraps around. They do see him. They do see him. That's an absolute lie.
The clear.
Caster's curse.
Oh no. I mean, I was gonna say I don't know if he's gonna clear it or not, but if it gets cleared, I feel like they lose because like that's such a weird angle to clear, and it's an empty B site. It's just a mental game here. 30 seconds on the clock. With a pick towards B, you would expect quick rotates, but I like that Team Prolific hasn't been like, yo, we're gonna rotate immediately. We're gonna wait a little bit. No, they're gonna wait. They're gonna relax.
See if they can carry on with this though. I'm not too sure if it's going to be in their favor or not, but at least from what I'm seeing right now, really good.
Yeah.
Right now for the corner, has a change of gun. Hayden gonna have to see Beanseller wrap around. No, check your corner. Thank you so much, but that was just not it for them. And there we go. Hayden's now knocked out for the count.
Let's go.
I know that it's not a let's go moment. No. Not let's go. Like, Prolific needs to be on the board.
Let's go. I'm being facetious. Dude. I'm being facetious. You think, dude, it is 09. Like, for the side of Twisted Saints, you're saying let's go. But like, this is just, oh my god, they had the lead too. That's why I'm like, I'm trying to be sarcastic, but I think my brain has fried itself at this point because all I can think about is the absolute like timeout that they had in the overtime and how it snowballed into this.
You think?
No, I know. What do you mean? I think I know. Like I've commentated FPS for so long at this point that I've seen some really bad timeouts, and I know that was a bad timeout because like you gave them so much room, and now Team Twisted Saints has taken that and really dominated. A new 2K again, back with the aggressive plays. They have the numbers, please. This is the moment that I'll be screaming and shouting for you. Beanstaller Seller is gonna be the only one standing in your way. Fix goes down. That's literally just Beanseller. Please, Team Prolific can find something here. Finally, the defuse comes out. Now we can scream, let's go! Team Prolific, you found the round.
They found the round indeed, but is this enough for them to really clear out? Which is maybe the biggest issue they have at the moment.
I mean, sorry, it was a little disheartening to see for these past couple of games. So I might have been, as a caster, might have just been a little bit like disheartened to see the 09.
No, I get you.
But at the same time, like they have been just making such like small, inconsistently bad plays. Like they have the numbers advantage and they have someone left in logs taking a 1v1 when they could have just been grouped up together having the buddy system. And I get it. It feels a little bit bad to play in that regard. Like, oh, we're hiding around, like we're holding hands. Like, no, but that's honestly what you need when you're down so many rounds. Hold hands, take the easy way out, play it safe, especially with Yuki dominating currently. Look at this, Yuki's alone in mid and there's no counter. Like there's no punishment for that. They're not playing at least forward up onto sites at the beginning and crunching back because they're trying to play safe because Team Prolific has been losing, and that's fair, that's fine, as long as they can do it all together, because they lose early picks like this and there's no trade for Rain. Oh, they're just getting dismantled again.
It's just not to be at this moment, as we now see. Look at that wraparound here. Yuki's gonna try it anew. Nope.
Right here.
He's gonna drag back his team with Miku at the back here, but do you really think that Twisted Space is gonna just take that bait? And I think the answer is no. Oh, there we go.
I mean,
2 for 1.
I mean, at the end of the day, TSE, Twisted Saints they have 5 players right now in the ball down, and they're looking to take this out here. Maybe these teams are both attack sided. Maybe all of my size and Oz will immediately get revoked here. Even though TRP has been finding these 2 pigs here, there's still 3 players alive, and Mikul needs to find all 3 of them and get the defuse within a certain amount of time. It's just not found. That's the 10th round. I would hope Team Prolific proves me wrong on when they switch sides. I want them to. I genuinely do.
I want them to, but also like no.
What do you mean,
I don't
no?
want forceful. Look, I was on Team Prolific. I was prolific at that moment. But when you're 10 game, with 9 rounds up, right? Kind of set in stone at this point. It's really hard to see Prolific turn this around, but they could absolutely do this. Their composition is a very aggressive one. If they move into the attack side, they could really turn this around, but at the same time, your mentals has to be so much in shambles right now. I don't know how you can turn this back.
Yeah.
Showstopper coming out. Not finding it smart. Pace shells, but not checking the corner here. And Brady's going to take out Fix. Another very heavy hitter in the team here. And
they have the numbers. They have the numbers. They have the numbers. Oh, they have so many numbers here. But Zyrox is popping it through. Hayden gets the trade. It's only 1 player. Beanseller can't sell for the side of Team Twisted Saints. Prolific is coming in the name. They managed to put Beanseller in a pinch. Now needs to isolate the fights, but gets taken down. They find the second. It's not 9-3, but hey, 10-2 still works.
Great job indeed. But I'm not sure if that's all they can do. You know, because I think there's more to it than meets the eye here as they move into this next half. And gotta say, there is a chance. There is a chance at it, but you gotta help me here. You gotta help me. I don't want to believe. I don't want to hurt.
I mean, at the same, okay, like I want Team Prolific to prove me wrong here because like
don't hurt
in my
me
mind
again.
like this. No, because I'm just saying like they've been dominated on attack and now they're on attack and they have a comp that in my opinion is better suited for attack. So
I mean, of course.
I could be put, but like Twisted Saints is up by 8 rounds, so Team Prolific needs to make up this deficit. It starts with the pistol. If they can win the pistol, then yeah, of course they're gonna be able to carry it on in the future. It's just a matter of how consistent they can get for it. Kaza pushing in, Team Prolific finally taking space, but immediately it's gonna be Fix and Yuki who are just continuing the domination from the previous rounds. Prolific is down by 2. They have 2 rounds and 2 players gone. I think it's almost poetic. Finally, we do see some counterplay with a new 2K finding one, needs to get the second here. Xerox is just gonna hold, pops it, misses the shots on to a new 2K, and that's gonna cost them. They could have gotten a new and Pain there, or Rain, sorry, but it just didn't work out. They only managed to get a new, unfortunately.
And there it is. I mean, I was already saying it. It's just very painful to see how they can possibly turn this around, and it just kind of falls back short a little bit. And that's why I'm trying to say that there is a hope, there is a world that it could happen.
There's some reality, but it's still rather rambunctious. Hayden's gonna pop one more. It gets traded out almost immediately. Prolific has the plant here. It's Yuki to lock in the third and get the defuse coming out here. I mean, that's the 11th round found. It's gonna be a forced buy from Team Prolific because it's 11-2, and yeah, I mean, it's just a bit. I think it's a bit unfortunate.
So we're gonna have to see if there's anything more they can possibly help turn this around, right? So we're gonna wait and see. With all of these coming down to it, though, it is still not match point yet. There is still hope in this world.
There's still some counterplay to be found. It's just, it's hard. Like it's one of those things. Like it is a very difficult road to be on because at the very end of the day, like you have, I mean, you just have so much to worry about from all of these different things. And when you worry about like, okay, we're buying up into this round, we need to win this round, otherwise this match point becomes rather difficult. Oh, the shotgun, the judge, the jury, the executioner is out. The votes are here, and it seems like the ticket has been found. Twisted Saints now have, I would say, a little bit of an advantage here. Not only did they take 2 out and decimate the mental, but they also have a lot of pressure. A new 2K does have a bulldog in hand, and Twisted Saints Esports is just vibing with some specters and
Just vibing.
stingers, but they have that bomb. They have that bomb. Like it's kind of like they've locked it in here. A new 2K getting peppered up, and I feel like at this point, right, they need to pinch these guys faster. Xerox finds another. Finally, we get to see the trade. It's 3 for Xerox, 3 for Hayden. It's the battle between these two lovely players. Rain peeks in. They get rid of that. They pick up the bomb. There's something here. Flips gonna try and slow it down, but not finding too much, unfortunately.
And of course, with that being said, those situations 2v2, but we have a very, very low sky here, and of course a very, very low omen. So, you know, looking a bit more favorable for Prolific if they want to make this one work here, especially since they've already got a spike down, but they're all at the bottom here. So Fix is gonna have to jump on them first, but let's see. Satchel out, has no information, does see one generator, but below them hell as well. I think they know that actually below him. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, no, they're gonna clear out hell.
Oh, pick one.
Hayden finds the 4. Hayden finds another.
Done.
Prolific finds the
3-11.
3rd. I mean, it's not over. Like, it's not over till it's over. Definitely not. But at the same time, it's the pressure. Twisted Saints has 2 rounds and they're done. Team Prolific has so much more. I don't even know how the math works. I think they're 3 right now. Yeah, they are 3. So that means they have 8 rounds to win out here to manage to get back to 11. And then 9 for match point, 10 to lock things in through and through. So if they can win 10 flawless rounds, which is difficult for any team, especially with these two teams who have been so good back and forth, with a team that it has you at 11, it has been a lot of pressure here. But I still think there's a line of hope. Hayden has the read here. If they can find Fix, that could be huge, but they get traded out instead. The rest of the team is coming out. Prolific seems to be taking it in full swing, in full force. And they have the numbers, they have the players, and they're most likely picking up the 4th round.
Hopefully they are going to pick this one up. I mean, 4v1 situation, if you somehow lose this, I have no idea what you could possibly do for your mental state at that point. Of course, we're going to see if there's anything they can really do about it, as Cookie's going to wrap around here, and all he has is a sheriff to his name. So, this is going to be spicy. Oh, well, you know what? Not a sheriff to his name anymore. Bulldog and a sheriff to his name. Let's see, wrap around through the elbow here. Has information that, you know, a recon has been spotted. So now there's absolutely no way they know that he's coming from here, which is great. But still trained on it. Rain.
Yeah. Oh, shots found, but
there we
it's
go.
locked in. There's that fourth. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. They're gonna go for it. Yeah.
4-11. Slowly climbing their way back up here, but it is a slow grind. It is a very slow grind.
Yeah. Okay. So Twisted Saints has a buy up here. So does Prolific. They both have weapons. They both have guns. I think it's going to be pretty even out going into both of these. It's just a matter of how well can they follow through. Because this is going to peek through. They don't have their ultimate here is the biggest issue. Kaza's pushing up here super aggressively into mid, but with no other support here. Oh, Xerox has a read. They're just going to be holding off. They're tucking in the corner. I mean, I feel like there's a perfect timing for this flash. It comes through. Oh, great timing from Hayden. The flash was in a good time, but Hayden had the spray ahead of time, and that worked out so well. Twisted Saints Esports down by a player, but Yuki is going to equalize the shots in mid. Now, Twisted Saints needing to do a lot in terms of damage control. They want to win this out. 2 more rounds and it is over. Cookie sprays through, gets the numbers, does some damage onto Hayden as well. Kaza finding one in mid. They were playing alone and I was criticizing it, but I guess I talked about it a little too soon because Kaza has found real value with that. Not like real value coming out of here. Kaza now finding another with McCall on the side. They've pinched it through and now Twisted Saints on the back burner.
On the back burner indeed here, as now the situation isn't looking too great for them, but there is still a lot of times that they can make this one work in just a little bit more. They have a favorable position, but the question is, can they really turn this around for the favor of them? As they have 3 players, they have run it back here, and there's only 1 person there, right? No ultimates, some utility maybe, but where it's going, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, paint shells.
I mean,
wow, that is a
point,
beautiful paint shells.
It's kind of like, I mean, there's just no time. I don't think Fix has, because the bomb has been going for so long at this point.
Satchel out.
And he's pinched from both sides.
Oh, that's it. He has pinched from both sides. There we go. Attackers won again. 5-11. The slow grind is slowly backing his way up.
Yeah. Timeout coming out here makes sense. Twisted Saints has been losing a decent amount here for them. I think the biggest thing is just, I mean, Prolific has been starting their roll slowly from that from picking up the second round here on the half. It's just a matter of, okay, 5-11. You have some ultimates to boot. Team Prolific has the momentum that they need here to bring it back. The comp is more attack oriented. I said it was more attack oriented, and I still stand by that because they're literally winning more on attack. Like that, it just makes sense.
Right.
But not only that, but like it's just like they have flashes, but the flashes are very solo flashes. Kaza was able to lurk through mid, which I thought was crazy as a Phoenix, but it worked out somehow. So the reads have been good for Prolific. I think TSE now all they need to do is kind of play it. I would say play it slower, right? Like they have been playing fast. And it's got to be, it's read into by Prolific at this point. So maybe changing the pace, strong side, weak side, or play slower, or play, you know, have like retakes. I mean, there's a couple of strats that can really come out here, and I wonder which one they're going to go for. Considering that everyone is swarming, they're going towards A, that's strong side, weak side. Like they have 4 on A, and they're going to just completely leave B for retake, it seems.
Let's see if they really make this one work.
I feel like Viper's going mid, right? No, Viper's going B.
It's a bit rough here. They do want to really push this in to site A though. They have the information that the recon that did not pop off, which means there's at least 1 player, and there's a chance that everyone will be rotating over. So if they want to make a play, it is now. They do see the information here. They push it in here. TSE taking 2 for the side here. 3 with the entire thing working out here on the run it back. Nicely done here for the information, but 3 players.
They also got some damage. Here. They also got some damage on Jet as well. Oh, and look at where Prolific is playing now. They're trying to lurk in mid here. The strong 3-man push towards A to read through and then retake towards B if they weren't going. The read was so on point and such a necessity for the side of Twisted Saints if they wanted to close this out. It's just a matter of how Prolific can combat this. No cookies, no cookies, and Fix finding things through a thrifty. It's a flawless, more than just a thrifty. Look at this. I think this is gonna be the start, right?
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
it's
gonna
just
be
gonna be
the
the
start
ending of
indeed.
it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's just
it's the
cookies at the
start.
very end.
This is a beautiful start for them. TSE can actually clean this one up here for the Thrifty, but even though it's match point here, 7 games in a row, not impossible with Team Prolific, especially since they're on the attacking side. They have a lot of momentum that they can build up here. With, of course, the Hunter's Fury to just kind of snuff them out, and the Blade Storm, they have actually no way of running this into an equal run. They have to just win 7 games in a row, obviously. But the Blade Storm just being immediately popped out here is going to hopefully help them stabilize here. They won't have the range, but they have the damage.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Saints now also has a Reyna ultimate and a Sky ultimate. Those two could be really powerful impacts on how things are going to be played here. We also get to see, again, they're playing more defaulty and spread out Cookies as hiding in the corner. If Cookies finds one, it's good, but they don't find one, so that is going to be a tough start. Yuki, equalizing shots not found. They're just going to be pinched on the ground. Prolific doing such a good job pinching from mid onto sight. And that's going to dismantle Twisted Saints players, especially with their utility, right? Like, I mean, they don't have a Viper and they don't have Reyna for re-entry. Now they just lose all these players left, right, and center. It seems like a nearly flawless execution, but Fix has something to say about it. Gets 2 down, so it cannot be it can't be flawed. You can't say like, oh, it's perfect, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happens, and Prolific did win out in the end.
Almost smells like another choke, but it's not gonna happen. It has to not happen here. It is really scary to see how this could turn into such a bad situation. That the score was a lot more even at 3-11 just now, and all of a sudden they've got 6-12, and so they've got to make sure they're careful with this. They don't want to let this win slip off their hands.
Yes, a necessity indeed. Kaza picking up the orb, being 1 away now from their ultimate. Team Prolific is looking to play off of that. They also have the Hunter's Fury. Yuki, why am I words? Yuki playing so forward and immediately falling back after not finding too much. I was afraid that Yuki was gonna push up and try and take the fight, but no, it does not come through. Instead, it's gonna be a bit more balanced. I feel like if Cousin gets the plant, that could be really good for them as well.
I mean, at any point in time, they just need to get 1 in here and they can push for it.
Yeah, for Prolific side. But I also think that there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more to it. I like that Yuki also did not go super aggressively. For the side of Twisted Saints Esports, they're not like really pushing out for no reason. If they're pushing out together, or they're pushing out with some intent. Bean Seller just waiting around here. They've wasted a lot of util early on here, so Bean Seller is probably really not happy about that. For the side Team Prolific, they are ecstatic about it. Yuki, I think they have all their utility mostly on hand. That's a plant going down pretty quickly in new 2K. Just checking for mid in case anybody's going to rotate through, being that flank watch, that flank guard. Bean Seller pushing in. They still have to contend with mid. That's going to be a really solid Hunter's Fury coming out to displace those players. Hayden able to pick up so many picks from it. That's going to be the 7th round found for Team Prolific. Really solid kind of strategy there, allowing for the Hunter's Fury to displace all these players. Like Bean Sellers running away, and then off the side we see Hayden picking off 2, I believe, towards lane. We even have another from a new 2K, making sure that they find that 2K.
And this means that they are a step closer from before. 5 rounds away from this game closing. At least closing to an overtime. So we're gonna see if that is going to be the case here. But it would be a little bit interesting if we see a draw for this last round. You know what? That would be like the best friend ending. But one of them needs to push up.
Yeah. Through and through, Team Prolific. Still, they have 7 rounds up, 5-round deficit. They've been slowly bringing it back up, losing only 1. Beside the Twisted Saints, they are on Sheriffs right now. They need to have Head Tap City to lock things through and through. Oh, but
City
Yuki's still
lined
pushing
up,
up.
lined up. No,
Misses the
no.
shot. Cuz is gonna find them. Xerox now waiting to see if they can do some counter damage, but it's not gonna come through. Cookies. Oh, Cookie. Look in the right direction. Gets spotted finding a new 2K. It's these Viper games down in mid. They got the 1-for-1. There's also a Reckoning and a Viper's Pit if they could be found and used in some capacity. I doubt it's gonna pop up this early. Re-clearing mid. McCool making sure that the gun has not been picked up and the players have not been hiding in corners in case mid still is contested.
Right. Wraps around here. They are not gonna see this, but everyone's just through mid here. Catwalk into tree room, and the angles just look really favorable for Prolific. Oh, the Molly's out here, both challenging each other right now, but as it stands, they now know that they're through tree room here, sprays and somehow gets it out.
Yeah.
Fantastic indeed, but into the smoke here. Hits is gonna be scary here. Cookie makes out of one. Rain returning a favor on Fix, and there it is. Another one spraying and praying here through Rain. Turns around
There's
the
no
corner to
time.
hell.
Seconds left.
There's no
Have to try
time.
for something.
He
at
has
least
8 seconds. He needs to get the kill.
No.
Cookie, just don't peek this. Don't peek. Hide in the corners. The shots are found.
Defend-
That's gonna be
Woohoo!
it.
Twisted
That is
Saints!
going to be it. I just realized my headset's unplugged.
It's crazy indeed here as Twisted Saint was able to make this one work here. I cannot believe my eyes. You're right to say that
Man.
they should have picked here. It was a high risk situation, but the high risk involved in it is that they lose a round versus they win the game. And
Oh, my hair's all over the
honestly, they were
place.
there for it. They were there for it.
I was just like, honestly, the entire time I was just like, oh, such minor mistakes for both teams. But hats off to them. It's been a long day and a long night for these teams and players. So I'm basically kind of like, I said my piece, right? I think the timeout was silly in the previous map. And then because of that, it carried the momentum forward in this map. The comp was really interesting. No Sentinel comps are... I think if you have a no sentinel comp, you need to have the counter for it. And the counter for it is to have double controllers because you have so much control of the map. You're not controlling with sentinel utility, you're controlling with blocking line of sight and blocking line of vision, which is exactly what we see from the Harbor Viper comp. You do still have double controllers for the flip side. I think they had Omen and Viper, but it's not the same because the walls provide so much more utility and more consistency. For Twisted Saints Esports, they've been playing for a lot longer. Team Prolific, they're a newer roster. Twisted Saints, they've been playing for a lot longer. And because of that, they're well executed on this sort of unorthodox off-meta comp, which don't get me wrong, I love it. I love that they have off-meta comps. I was so excited to dig into it. But because it was off-meta without too much recourse, it became rather difficult for them to kind of, come together in some capacity. I digress, though. I can talk about it for hours. What do you think?
Not much to really say here because ultimately it has been proven in history before. You know what they say? Insanity and the definition of it is just basically repeating the same actions, hoping for something different here. And today, Twisted Saints Esports returned this into the favor 2-1. The same as from the shadows. But one thing is for certain that Prolific has a chance to return the favor. All they need to do now is really win through their group stages and they'll find themselves back against, Twisted Saints at some point into this. Two teams can make it out of the group stages here for each group here. So we will have at least 8 teams coming up into the finals of Overdrive here. But otherwise, I mean, we're looking forward to see whether they can really make this one back out and return the favor here. This rivalry doesn't end here. That
It
is
does
the
not
main
end
thing we
here.
need to remember. It does not end here.
Yeah, it does not end here. Well, with that, I think that's going to be the end of our night. We're going to play out the highlights. It's been a really interesting time to kind of discuss both these two teams. But at the end of the day, hopefully we can talk about them a little bit more in from the group stage in the playoff bracket, right? Like I think we want to see these guys run it back again. And like I think you mentioned this earlier, 2 teams get to move on. So with that, I've been Nerds, Nitro. We're heading out for the night. Cheers. Oh. Oh no, missed shot. Twisted Saints is gonna have this space taken and created. Yuki already finding one. I mean, and that's probably like the biggest important thing. Like they know they're going towards mid here for the side of Twisted Saints Esports since they're on such low buys. Yuki gets spotted though.
Yuki
No,
won.
now needs to get aggressive, finding two findings. Especially because it's not Lotus, there's not going to be 3 sites. It'll be a little easier for them to balance, I would say, hopefully. Because we all want to get... I feel like the broadcast crew was talking about Game 3. I was talking about Game 3. The fans want
I'm
Game
not talking
3.
about Game
Twisted
3.
Saints want to... You're not. You're the only one, I
I'm
think.
the only
And Breakable. They can pinch towards Breakable, and they can hold a good stairs position. And considering that TPR has no way of breaking through unless they get some really nice headshots, which unfortunately, like we even see KJ not finding, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a blender here with no other support here. Oh, Xerox has a read. They're just going to be holding off. They're tucking in the corner. I mean, I feel like there's a perfect timing for this flash. It comes through. Oh, great timing from... Look, they 5-stack towards A. They're going to slam on here. Yuki already has space on site. Kaza trying to go for some sort of counterplay, but not finding it just yet. Viper's Pit comes through. I mean, I guess I can see why Twisted Saints is going to be going for it. Understand, all right, it's going to be an A hit. We know they're going to be here, so they try to go and surround these players, but it's still not going to... It might not be enough, right? Because Yuki buying up of... Oh, as an op, could get the read. Great pick onto a new 2K because that's going to... It's only one player. Bean Seller can't sell for the side of Team Twisted Saints. Prolific is coming in the name. They managed to put Bean Seller in a pinch. Now needs to isolate the fights, but gets taken. Look at the dominance on the map so far. It has been 6 rounds in a row. 5 in this half, 1 in the previous half. Altogether, it has been consistent for Prolific Esports here. So they are coming into this rather hot. Fix going for their ultimate, finding one on to Hayden. They are going to...
It might make it a little bit hard for them to, you know, do much if they're just clamped together. That Neurotype is just not useful if everyone's clamped, right? I mean, like, so what if you know where everyone is? You can't take a 1v4.
Oh, there's a showstopper coming.
Oh, the showstopper what? Here. And well, to say it has to just kind of decide whether they really force this here. And nicely done on the Cyrox here, taking another one here, but he's got to fight against 2 right around the corner onto the box here. We might see a 3rd one coming in here. Seekers are out here. Can he make it work? No. There's that. But right around the corner here, we are going to see they can really take anything happening here. I think information is kind of just there waiting for an opportunity to shine right now. He runs around the corner to see Hayden unfortunately getting nicked already before they even got the chance to look at them. Hayden going for another one. Fix here.
I'm really happy for them. They have the capability to win things out. Yuki on a close angle getting spotted. Shock Dart comes through, gives away their position. They peek together.
Nicely
One goes
done.
down, but can't get traded. Yuki not finding much, but launch that flank guard. Bean Seller pushing in. They still have to contend with mid. That's going to be a really solid Hunter's Fury coming out to displace those players. Hayden able to pick up so many picks from to get the trade. There are 2 players. They're not gonna... There's no way they line up here. It's just gonna be a matter of being a nuisance, right? Like, we're gonna be a nuisance. Oh, peeking out a little bit. Peeking out a little bit.
Nice
Here
one.
we are. Oh, but Zyrox doesn't know. Zyrox doesn't have the read. It gets found out. The shots come through. Really close. It was really close to being a sweep there from Cookies, but they retake the space, reclaim it. Fix is already there, finding one good target prioritization. That's the spike down.
Nicely done here. Scott information here. Haters see this, but everyone's just through mid here. Catwalk into tree room, and the angles just look really favorable for Prolific. Oh, the Molly's out here, both challenging each other right now, but as it stands, they now know that they're through tree room here. Sprays and somehow topple this giant of their own. So this is gonna be it. 11-11. They need to take this 2 games in a row and not force an overtime.
Yeah. Oh, Yuki has this. If Yuki can find the fix here, it might be the working. I will say there is a neon ult in place, so all of my words could be for naught.
Like you're
They
saying,
already find Bean Seller, so that's... I said find one of the initiators, and they found one of the initiators, and they found a weapon to boot as well. Fix is gonna pop off though and get popped down. We're going to map 3. I agree. I have a feeling we are. Twisted Saints Esports gonna get the plant down here. They have 3 players, and their post plant looks relatively good. They know exactly the positioning of the side of Prolific, and they've got low HP on some of them. Oh, but Prolific, where that op kind of counterplay really fell into it a little bit more.
Now let's see if we can really turn this back around. I mean, not too exciting because just whoever wins this needs to win the 2nd round. So we're gonna see if they make this one out.
Ooh.
As I sneeze down there, do not worry about that. But Rain trying to make something out of here. Fix gonna have to back it out. The showstopper now up here. We're gonna see Kuso just around the corner here. Maybe they want to pick it up. What on earth is happening here? This guy's trying to see if we can make this one work.
Prolific needs to retake. Are they waiting for the mid players? Oh, they're playing slow. Kaza is waiting to see when they peek into him rather than pushing out the mid players.
Here we go. Kaza sees the peek.
At the end of the day, it's still going to be really rough for them. Oh, the smoke comes
Nice
out
smoke.
perfectly. The timing.
All
the
time.
smoke that was
I
meant
love
to
it.
help Prolific Esports.
Enemy remaining.
It's just beautifully done as Fix takes
No.
a 3K right now. Turns
Okay.
around.
Vandal, I think that's Rain. Yeah, having a better weapon could be the crucial key point here as he's gonna take down one more. It's so possible. Close
There's a
range
rock on it.
engagement. Rain finds one. Needs to switch to the sheriff. Head tap city.
See if they can carry on with this though. I'm not too sure if it's going to be in their favor or not. But at least from what I'm seeing right now, really good. 4-1, Zyrus returning in favor. TPR, where are you at here? Come on, Prolific. Secrets are out. Information is gathered. They have information for 2 at the very least. 3 at the back here. Satchel coming out. Fix is gonna see one nicely. Love is happening here. This guy's throw it out. There was such a line for him. Just threw it into the smoke. He might have been able to make something work, but hey, you know what? That's fine. Kuza wrapping around the corner here. He's gonna see 2 on the side here. One bean seller. And there we go. First on the side here with Zyrox bean seller. And
Then yeah, of course they're gonna be able to carry it on in the future. It's just a matter of how consistent they can get for it. Kaza pushing in, Team Prolific finally taking space, but immediately it's gonna be Fix and Yuki who are just continuing the
they do want to really push this in to site A though. They have the information that the recon that did not pop off, which means there's at least one player, and there's a chance that everyone will be rotating over. So if they want to make a play, it is now. They do see the information here. They push it in here. TSE taking 2 for the site.
especially with their utility, right? Like, I mean, they don't have a Viper and they don't have Reyna for re-entry. Now they just lose all these players left, right, and center. It seems like a nearly flawless execution, but Fix
Around to the defending side spawned, and we do see Yuki now finally on the back here. We might see something work as Cookie comes around. We have a flash coming in onto Breach here, pushing back forward. A lot of kills coming in here, but the Blaze not completely with itself here on a 5.
push towards A to read through and then retake towards B if they weren't going. The read was so on point and such a necessity for the side of Twisted Saints if they wanted to close this out. It's just a matter of how Prolific can combat this. No, Cookies, no!
And Rolling Thunder, as I've said, if they want to really make this work, they could absolutely do it. The only ultimate they're contesting against is from the shadows here. So now Yuki lighting his sights up, sees one, sees the peak, doesn't know where it comes a clutch on that. Have a little bit of information coming out here with Cookie being for one. They might have saw a second one potentially, I'm not too sure, but hey, look at that. From around the corner, Anu is able to pick that one up. And now they have to really contest against such a strong defender. Oop, another one down.
Shots
Bites
come
dust.
through weapon, but it didn't really work out for them. Oh, Hayden's going so fast. Oh, he's clearing, not clearing anything. He's just going for it. Gets punished in return. But
Speed
Fix
run
gets
for
crunched
death. Let's
still.
go.
No, Kaza still manages to get the trade regardless. Oh man, I feel like Twisted Saints, right? They've gotten themselves in a really strong position here, but the fact that 2 were found for the side of Prolific is going to be rather rambunctious. Twisted Saints pushing in. They take the shots through.
Nice.
They get punished.
Ooh, now let's see if they can make this work. Nate's out here. They have information. Fix is sitting around the corner here, and nowhere is. 1 pickup from there, 2 on the side, and this is the 3rd one coming in. If he wants to try for against Mikul here, but
as you can
It
see,
definitely feels
you
like
have
it.
3 players towards halls, but no, at this point, it's going to be impossible for them. Like, Twisted Saints has basically no avenue. I would say basically no avenue at this point.
You're saying
okay.
Cookie coming rough on the back here for opportunity. Maybe we see it from the shadows, or maybe even just a raw paranoia to see if they can get something in and just force their way through. Raw paranoia comes out here. The breach comes in. Dizzy out. There's absolutely a lot of players in there, and they're able to take them out. Nicely done. Kuza taking for 2, and now they have. You can definitely see that discipline is coming from the fact that they know each other. It's almost like, you know, your own brother. You know what they're gonna do. It's so in sync. Yuki coming in from there right now. We are on the side C trying to make some plays here, but no, there we go. Seekers are out, and we are gonna see another pick coming in, getting nicked already before they even got the chance to look at them. Hater going for another one. Fix here, and of course Kuza to Yuki. This is a one situation that I do not want to see Twisted Esports in. So let's see if they can make it work here. 1 kill, 2 kill. He's able to make, but let's see. Satchel out, has no information, does see one generator, but below them hell as well. I think they know that actually below him. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, no, they're gonna clear out
see it?
hell.
Oh, pick one.
Hayden finds the 4. Hayden finds
Nicely
another.
done.
The rip popping out some more utility and weaponry. Twisted Saints Esports is looking to tear through Prolific, who has been having a rough time of it. Only 2 players here going for the retake. Oh, make that one. Make bots
Instantly, forcing it to a 6-0 position.
Oh no, missed shot. Twisted Saints is gonna have the space taken and created. Yugi already finding one. I mean, and that's probably like the biggest important thing. Like they know they're going towards mid here for the side of Twisted Saints Esports since they're on such low.
I need to watch out for this people holding his angle. Oh my word!
Still forced to swing and does do so with the top draft Wolverine. Not expecting the second one there. Lewis still with the blade storm is going crazy.
Drop down the operator and pick up the back though. Last round and care. He is not able to get anyone as the counter flash is there. And but the deadlock tries to steal his teammate away, but he's gonna be surviving immediately. With the team playing hard, he's just gonna deal some damage, but he's gonna be easily taken out. And OOT just way too aggressive. Ay.
Oh, I see the vision.